Good evening, and welcome to this week's London's Burning. We start, as always, with a warning. This is an RP game. It is designed with personal horror and drama in mind. Characters in the stream may be referred to in ways that we would never refer to them in real life, apart from Sieger, who we call sensational both in-game and out-of-game. Vampire the Masquerade deals with many social aspects people face in the current modern world. They are meant to elicit emotional responses in the viewers and characters, but it is set only in the game and does not reflect our actual views or outlook on the world. All people are welcome, but please be warned that we will deal with aspects that some may consider offensive and are not meant to be taken out of context of the game itself. We like drama, but only in game, and we do not want drama outside of the game. Welcome to the Chronicle London's Burning, a story set in the city of Oxford about a group of vampires and kindred society reeling from the exodus and loss of London. Tonight, we are joined by Xavier Long, portrayed by Tina. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. As usual, you gain a hunger. The anarch gangrel Rikki, portrayed by Tavi. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. You gain a hunger. Isaac, of the Hakata family, from the clan Cappadocian, portrayed by Noscavian. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. And I'm happy that you gain a hunger for interrupting me. The Cameron Toreador Rhapsody, portrayed by... I'm very pleased you're here. Portrayed by Groundhog. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. It's going to be a hungry night. And the Camarilla Bruja Armand, portrayed by Nitro Typat. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. You're hungry. And last, but never least, the Camarilla Banu Hakim Blood Scholar, the sensational Cedra, portrayed by Ms. Hutz. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Very hungry night. Let's see now. We start this week. Rikki sent a message during the week to meet with Buck, who said to be at a small abandoned building on Old Abingdon Road. Rikki has come alone to the building. Unbeknownst to her, it is the site of a former Ripper murder. She enters into the small building covered in graffiti and notices the long, broken yellow tape to show the place as a crime scene. As she enters, she hears a voice come from behind her. I was intrigued by your message, fledgling. Have you come to buy or sell information? I brought someone you might know with me too. Say hello, Prowl. I think you might know each other.
Rikki turns around and her eyes go wide. Prowl? Seriously? You're not fucking dead?
Do I look dead to you? Of course, he is covered in bandages and...
I mean, all three of us are dead. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Fair fucking point.
I found her staggering out of Port Meadow, which is not the best of places for kindred, even a gangrel.
Well, if you met Prowl, you might already know what I was thinking to offer you, Bach. She looks at Prowl. Unless you haven't already told him.
Nope. Haven't said a word.
Oh. So she looks at Prowl. Or she looks at Bach. So you've no idea why Prowl is in this state.
I just thought she had a really nice party.
Rikki rolls her eyes and kind of sits back down on her haunches. You could fucking say that. Anyway, Bach, we talked before about the Ripper. You sounded like you wanted it dead. That the case?
Of course.
What if I told you we'd seen the Ripper and I could describe it for you?
I'm very intrigued. Go on.
I recall I would owe you a small boon. This be enough for that?
This would be sufficient, depending on how
right.
much information you give me.
All right. We'll start there. So, Prowl, well, one, I'm glad you found Prowl. I'm glad she's alive. Undead, what the fuck? I'm glad to see you, Prowl. So, Ripper.
Glad to see you too, Pop.
Thanks. So, Ripper. Fuck all. So, Prowl was actually the one who found it. She's been seeing it around Port Meadow. Thing is fucking huge. At least 15 foot, maybe taller. Lots of claws. Claws are fucking huge too. Thing is fucking fast.
I'll just gestures to her face. She's got one toenail, 3 slash marks across her right eye, 1 across her left eye, and 1 diagonally across her nose.
So, anyway,
She looks fine to me.
I'm fucking surprised she's not dead.
Well, that's fine to you!
I mean, look at me. I look like an elephant's asshole turned inside out. I'm so sorry you've got a wound.
Worse you want.
Prowl, I need him. At least I think I do. We'll see about that.
Regrettably.
Yeah, I know, he's a fucking asshole, but hey. Anyway, so Bach, Ripper, Prowl took us to see it. It apparently haunts Port Meadow, usually in the later half of the night. Lupines seem to leave it the fuck alone. Apparently, though, on occasion, it's run away from Prowl. Why? I don't have a fucking clue. But when we went there as a group, the fucking giant of a beast showed up, snagged Prowl, and kind of poofed off, and then other shit hit the fan. But anyway. So, thing is like...
apart from being... Rikki. Go on. Interrupted. Finish what you were saying, Pop.
At any rate, so, yeah. Thing is good, minimum 15 feet. It's big. It's got claws. From what you told me, though, it's been in the sewers, so I guess either the thing fucking got bigger, or it can change its size. Found some tracks of it, and yeah, the feet have claws too. So, what the fuck drinks blood like a kindred and can be giant and have claws like a lupine and is fucking fast as hell, so fast you can't even follow it? I don't know fucking know.
There's a few things. I dated a girl like that once, in fact.
That must have been an interesting relationship.
It had its moments. Never raise a demon. That's all I'll tell you.
Ricky's eyebrows go very high. She shakes her head and decides to ignore that comment. Alright, so at any rate.
Those wide eyes, Rikki, and it's almost like a light bulb moment. Oh, okay.
I believe that will be sufficient for the boon that you owed me. However, returning Prowl to you, I believe will incur another similar, smaller boon.
Alright, fair enough. Let's see. I might know other things you want to know about. What do you know about?
I would be most interested.
How much do you give a fuck about the Tremere?
They have their uses. They've recently entered into a civil war. They're a solitary lot. The Anarchs don't really know what to do with them apart from ask favors when it comes to a fight or protection. They basically all stay in their little genetic research lab. I think they're looking to try to fix their broken bloodlines somehow through science. They have the typical Tremere arrogance and haven't even considered they might not be able to fix themselves. If they even
didn't we try that once already? Oh,
probably. If they can ever take their eyes off their research long enough, they might realize they've been dragged into a war. But by that point, it might be too late.
Rikki tilts her head. Dragged into a war?
It's not like the Anarch Tremere are the ones that declared war.
So, do you know who started the war? And do you care?
Yes and no.
Well, that information's not useful to you. I'll have to keep my eye out for other little tidbits. Because, yes, I do appreciate you bringing Prowl back. I felt a bit guilty about that.
I thank you too.
Anything else you've been wanting to know, Bach?
Nothing immediately springs to mind. I have my own concerns to worry about. I have an entire clan to look after.
So I've noticed. I was rather, intrigued by your rise to Primogen. I wasn't aware that was a position an Anarch could hold. Though I am very pleased for you.
was slightly different when it comes to your sectional warfare.
So I've noticed. Nosferatu also seem to be who everyone calls when there's a mess that needs cleaning up.
Naturally.
So I need to running a fairly good intelligence network.
The best.
Exactly. My point.
With the fall of the StreckNet, it meant we had to get a bit more physical with our intelligence gathering, which naturally means that we can learn a lot more in person than we ever could when we were getting lazy, sat at computer terminals.
I heard a little of that. That must have been very frustrating for you. Losing StreckNet, I mean.
It was inevitable, really.
Hmm.
Things don't last forever. You learn it as you get older and older.
Learn that nothing lasts forever. Not even us.
She's right, you know.
Only.
So I've been learning. There is a little bit more I could tell you about the Ripper that you might not know.
Go on.
Alright, so, you know Balo.
Yes.
At one point, Balo had us check out this old hidey hole. Had a bunch of scrawled stuff. Balo seemed to think it was connected to the Ripper. In what way? I don't fucking clue. But a couple things came up. Just, some mad scrawlings on some paper. Stuff like, I fear his voice, they'll all be punished, something about Mithras, and Ixion be exalted. Ixion, it turns out, is an ancient boogeyman. Not supposed to be real.
Interesting. Not very useful.
Worth anything? Alright.
And what about you? Is there anything I can help you with?
Now that you've brought Prowl to me, that's been my greatest concern. I might be interested to know about one name that's come my way. Lamia.
Yes.
You know anything about her?
Only rumors and hearsay.
How much
I'm
would
sure
they cost
you
me?
of all people. Unfortunately, I am not much for you. However, if you like, I can try and find a way for her to contact you, or you to contact her.
Maybe. Well, think about that one. Someone mentioned her to me at one point, and I've just been curious, you might say. Nothing terribly important.
You know what curiosity did to the cat. No offense, Prowl.
None taken.
Aye, but satisfaction brought them back.
I can't
Exactly.
get no satisfaction.
Neither can any of us.
Can anyone in this life?
Any rate,
The prince.
it's been good to see you, Bach. I'm glad to see you're doing well. I'm glad you brought Powell back.
A pleasure. But one more thing, Rikki.
Mm-hmm.
You should head to this place. And he hands you a small piece of paper with an address on it inside of Camarilla territory. Your coterie will meet you there. You will find something there that might help you appease them of their resentment towards you.
Rikki looks at the paper, nods slowly, looks at Bach with a very odd smile that's a mix of suspicion and appreciation. Is there anything I do, Bach, that you're not aware of?
Stuff that isn't worth knowing.
Fair enough. I suppose I'll just have to get used to that.
You
She
see,
nods her.
youngling, if you want to know anything, Nosferatu.
So I'm learning.
Almost everything. They're all right. For kindred, better sort.
Certainly better than certain Ventru girls. But that's a low bar.
Only
You're all
better
right,
than a
Ventru.
Camarilla.
At least Ventru
Oh.
are predictable. They always seek the same thing. Power, to lead, to consider themselves above everyone else. The Anarch Ventru have their fingers in a few businesses in their territory, as well as a criminal gang. If they can't take a business they desire with cold hard cash, they use their little gang to make the business worthless. Perhaps the Anarch Ventru are more ruthless than the Camarilla, but then when they have a reputation as blue bloods, they have a lot more to prove.
Anarch. There are Anarch Ventru. Well, that's something new to me.
Yes, there are.
Sound like a bunch of
Associate
assholes.
with them, but there are. They are anyway. Full stop. You will learn clans and families are better than others. I could help you there.
That might not be such a fucking bad thing. Alright. It was good seeing you, Bach. I think Carl and I should make our way, and if anyone asks, I know the deal. We didn't see you, okay? Well, maybe
Excellent.
we did.
See who?
Oh, and Bach,
Yes.
if you really do want the Ripper dead, you're not the only one. So, just toss that.
Thing dead.
Take care, Bach.
Just think it'll take a lot more. On Coterie to do it.
That's the fucking truth. Alright. Take care, Bach. Don't get yourself
Bach has
torn apart.
disappeared at this point.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah. I figured he would do that eventually.
He's done the Batman thing.
Nosferatu. You, Rikki.
Yes?
Prowl gestures to injuries. What? Here.
I'm not that...
You were fine.
I'm only scratched up a little bit. Oh.
There's worse than you. Younglings.
Well,
You know, I think your Coterie needs a mom, nothing more than anything else.
that's a... let's go see them. I've
Yes.
got some apologizing to do. I'll tell you on the way.
And with that, they make their way
Youngling.
to the address. I think it would be fair to say that Prowl would not be going that far into Oxford City, especially Camarilla territory. So if there's anything important you wish to discuss on your journey, now is the time.
So, anything to ask me? Wonder? Anything else I can teach you right now?
If I was going to find you later, where should we meet?
How about the domain?
The what?
All went last domain.
Your Coterie domain, I believe, is what Prowl is saying.
Yes.
Yeah, you can always run into me there sooner or later. Easy place to blend in.
I'll send Spartacus first.
Maybe have him look for me outside? I think he spooked some people last time.
Oh, she will. One of her nicknames is the Ghost.
Oh, there we go. All right. I'll catch you later, Prowl, and
But she'll
catch
wait.
you up.
Yes. Yes. Catch you later.
Good to see you're alive.
I'll turn. I'm glad I'm alive too, young one. Prowl turns and walks away with a rather large bag on her back, and then she's gone.
Rikki makes her way. I guess I need to meet the others at the domain first.
Nope. Curio shop. So, with Prowl and Rikki parting ways for now, where do we go? As the Coterie all received an intriguing message from an unknown sender, the message simply said, "I'm sorry, let me make it up to you," and to meet at this address. The entire Coterie arrived, all within mere moments of each other. Xavier, Cedra, Isaac, Armand recognise an old black iron door with a slider on it. It's the strange shop they visited before, though it seems to keep moving locations around the city.
Frogurt shop. Cool.
You think of it as a Frogurt shop.
So we're getting Frogurt?
I
No,
think
someone's
Glork.
kissing our ass.
The Frogurt's cursed.
I quite enjoy this shop of antiquities.
Of course you do, Isaac. Everything in here is as old as fucking you are.
I would wager some of it is much older, thank you very much.
To be fair, every time we've come here, we've gotten something useful, and I kind of just wiggle the dagger in my fingers.
Xavier zips up his coat.
Ricky's just being very quiet and not terribly looking anyone in the eye at the moment as she makes her way into the shop.
As the door
I wonder who
opens,
sent the letter. I wonder if the doctor's here.
as the door opens,
Oh God, I hope so.
Coterie can see that the inside of the shop has completely changed again. Now an open floor with displays running along the inside walls, leaving a narrow gangway straight to the back where the counter stands, and the same familiar, strange old man behind the counter. As each member of the Coterie enters, the man behind the counter says, "And what's your pleasure, sirs and madams?"
Rikki nods her head to the shopkeep and says, "I was told I might be able to find something here with which I could make some apologies. You might have some rather interesting items?" And at the same time, she's glancing at him suspiciously and using Sense the Beast because she hasn't met him before.
That's an automatic success. He has no beast.
Cedra walks in, but slows down and takes a look at the jewelry display as she walks by.
As you see, we always have something special. Is there anything in particular?
It's so
you'd
tempting.
like?
I'm afraid of getting something that's possessed.
I mean, if you own it, do you not possess it?
It's not split hairs.
Rikki glances over at Cedra and just asks, "Possessed?
Or cursed.
Cursed?"
This isn't your typical pawn shop. I doubt that's regular jewelry. But man, I know someone who would look really good in those earrings.
Is this your first time here?
Yes. She looks to the shopkeeper. A moment, please, sir. And then she walks over to Cedra and just quietly whispers again, "Do you mean cursed?"
Yeah, I mean cursed. The Frogert's cursed too, but we still take some back to Dolores.
Let me rephrase. Should I be worried?
Not any more of any other shop like this.
Oh, well, that's all right then. And she goes back to the shopkeep. About that jewelry my friend is, perusing. What do you think would look good on
Yes.
her?
No.
Oh, it's not for me. Thank you.
But if you're shopping for something for the fine young lady there, I have a fine bottle of Chateau Margaux from 1787. Its value is £172,000, mixed with the preserved blood of Richard III, killed at the Battle of Bosworth in 1485.
Hey, Isaac, we could sell your body for that.
I don't want it.
No, he knows people that would want it. I wasn't talking
Oh.
about you. It's what they do.
Rikki raises her eyebrows and shakes her head. I'm afraid if you're asking for cash or credit, that's a little too rich for my blood, though that would suit Cedra quite nicely.
I rarely accept cash as payment.
You did those last couple times.
Oh, Rikki,
had
don't
nothing
try to
else to
seduce him. I
offer
tried
me.
that already.
True.
She glances at Cedra. I don't try to. She looks back to the.
Why not? You
shopkeep.
get tons of free things that way. You should know this. Doesn't work on him.
Oh, you taught him that cool coin trick that one time.
Rikki just shakes her head, stoically looks
I don't teach
towards
him.
the shopkeep, and just nods slowly. All right. What sort of payments do you ask for?
Things of interest. Exotic knowledge. At one point, there was this crazy lady who offered me a magic trick in exchange. But what a trick!
Rikki raises her eyebrow and glances at
The
Cedra,
giggling's in game.
and then just look back at the shopkeep. So,
since I bought the dagger here last time, I'm probably perusing through stuff to see if I see anything similar.
We'll get to you.
Rikki
I know.
Rikki looks back to the shopkeep. Exotic knowledge. So, I could offer some of my perspective. That you mentioned preserved blood. You're aware of things, aren't you?
Depends on what you mean by things. There are many planes of existences. I see several that you don't.
Ah. Hold on a moment. She goes and
not
she
going
slips over.
anywhere.
I'm sorry. Just a moment. She goes there and slips to Cedra and whispers, "Ghoul."
I've never really cared.
He knows.
If he's Gould, I don't know who he's Gould to.
Whatever. She goes back to him. All right. I'll bite. So,
I
preserve
don't
blood.
want you to bite me.
Yeah, you do
Makes
know
a
what I
point.
am, don't you?
Of course he
Yes.
does.
I'm just making sure, masquerade and all that. I haven't met him before.
Rikki, the brand, this is where I got it from.
You're standing in a store
Oh.
with pickled eyes that are literally staring at you and following you around the shop, and you're worried about a masquerade?
Rikki looks up to the eyes. Oh, well, fuck. So they
They
are.
look back at you.
I should pay more attention, clearly. Any rate, all right. Knowledge. I could offer my perspectives about kindred. I might have an odd story or two to share you may not have heard before. Perhaps something out of ancient mythology.
How true is the mythology?
Well, that is always the question in it, isn't it? How true does one believe it to be? They are, after all, stories passed down from the ancient past.
Then you would be surprised to learn how many of those stories are real.
So I would. So, what sort of knowledge would interest you?
Tell me about television.
Television. Well, television has actually changed quite a bit in the recent era. I have a feeling, I'm guessing, since you've asked, you haven't paid too much attention to it, which I don't blame you for. I could
understand. Is it Greek or is it Latin? How do they fuse two different languages into one word?
You're asking about
Again in
the
character.
great mesh that is English. Yes. Our wonderful mother tongue. I'm afraid that one, quite simply, the British just don't give a fuck.
I
They
walk
just
over to
take
Amon
whatever they wish.
and I say, "Did we come here so she could fumble around talking to the fucking store manager? What are we doing here?
He's kind of new to this whole thing.
Due to fucking everything still. Jesus." I walk
I mean,
back over to
yeah.
the door.
Rikki kind of ignores them.
What do you guys
Where
think
were
of
we?
these? And she holds up a pair of earrings.
Where was I?
I just say, "Cursed!" from the other side of the room.
I'm trying. I've
Rikki.
just now lost.
Yeah,
my
but
train of
how
thought.
badly? He sniffs them.
Rikki, charisma, persuasion, difficulty 2, please.
I'm gonna assume beauty does not count here.
Does beauty only affect mortals?
Beauty affects whoever the storyteller deems would react to it. Your call. It's like would he give a shit about Ricky's appearance?
I can't remember. Did
you're
you
right.
find
No.
Cedra
Then
attractive?
he wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, he did not.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was
think
really
so.
hard to
Cedra
play.
tried seducing him in lieu of payment, and it didn't work.
Charisma,
Dedicated to my
persuasion.
RP, I am.
3 successes. Oh fuck, 4 hunger.
You have an interesting perspective on the word television and the British. But I will let you have this bottle of wine in exchange for that knowledge.
I'm very grateful. It's a gift for my friend Cedra over there.
Ah, would you like me to give it straight to her?
If it pleases you, sir. Yes.
Would you like it gift wrapped?
No, thank you. Just hand it to her. We'll be just fine.
Very well.
She'll understand.
And he takes the bottle of wine and he presents it very
Mm.
traditionally to Cedra.
It's quite a gift.
And then
She takes
Rikki
it. Thank you very much, Rikki.
Rikki bows with a slight smile and then turns to looking around, glances over at whatever Amon is looking at.
I'd hate to say this out loud, but I'm literally probably looking at anything that's shiny.
She gives up
Stone
on that.
teenagers.
And stabby. And
And
stabby.
stabby. Yeah.
She gives up on that, turns back to the shopkeeper and asks, "You wouldn't have anything that would interest a darts player, would you?"
Which one of them plays darts?
The one over there looking at the shiny stuff.
Ah.
Rikki,
In
you're
the
gonna
mat.
run out of currency.
I have a pair of metal gauntlets, black as the night. They once belonged to the Scourge of Oxford, but they proved impractical for him, so now they are here.
I stop perusing. Like, you just see me
Ooh.
stop. My head pokes up and goes, "Where are they at?"
I keep them under the counter.
right.
Would you like to see them?
Yes, please.
Yes, please, sir.
Reaches under. Pulls them out.
I'm just like running a finger down them. I'm not really saying
Wow.
anything. I'm just studying them.
While Amon is looking at those, shopkeep, do you have any decks of cards?
The cards are cursed.
Good.
Are you sure?
I just want to look at them.
Okay. Produces deck of cards. Would you care to open them?
Are they cursed when I open them?
No, they were cursed before that.
Oh. Okay.
They're all instructions on
She
how to play
opens-
bridge.
But they're still cards, right?
Yeah.
She opens the cards and starts shuffling them.
Okay.
Rikki just kind of shakes her head at her coterie's antics, looks back to the shopkeeper. And, shall we discuss your price for this item, sir?
I believe that if you want to have these for your interesting explanation on television, I would allow you to have these.
I would greatly appreciate them for my friend Amon here.
Very well.
That was a great explanation.
The English language is confusing.
And then Rikki glances about again and then leans over a bit and looks to the shopkeep. What about shotgun ammunition? Something special. Have you any?
Yes, but is this for the grumpy one?
Yes.
I have something slightly more interesting, perhaps, for him.
Oh?
At this point, Cedra puts the cards back in the box and hands them back to the shopkeeper.
They're creased.
They are not creased.
Sorry,
I know how to shuffle cards. They're not
Sorry.
creased.
I meant cursed.
Oh yeah, I know that already.
Amon's already got the gloves on, or the gauntlets on, and is just staring at them.
About appeasing. She tilts her head. Yeah, he does get grumpy. You're right.
I have a skeleton key.
A skeleton.
This will unlock
key.
anything with a key lock. However, it will only work once, and then
That's
it is
handy.
rendered completely to
Oh.
ashes to appear somewhere else for someone else. It appears that Xavier would be seeking someone, and it has made itself available to him.
Rikki glances over at Xavier, raises an eyebrow, says nothing, then looks back to the shopkeep. So you're saying this is already intended for him?
I'm saying it has made itself possibly available to him, as it is clear he is seeking someone. Whether or not it is fate that he has it is for us to decide now.
I lean over to
Alright.
whoever's close to him. Not that easy to read.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, you shut up. I know how you are.
All right. Rikki starts to smirk a little, actually quite enjoying this little game with the shopkeep. In what shall we deal for this wonderful artifact?
This is something particularly special. What would you like to offer me?
Cedra walks up. I will offer you this card. And she's holding one card from the deck that she gave back.
Charisma. Performance. Difficulty 3, please.
That's fancy.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think I'm gonna re-roll that. Oh wait, how can I re-roll?
3.
3.
3, okay. There's too many things up on my screen.
There you go.
There we go.
I already know how to play bridge, but you drive an interesting bargain. Very well. I shall accept your cursed card in exchange for the key of bone. Would you like it?
Cedra kisses the card, leaving a lipstick stain on it, and hands it to him.
How am I going to clean this?
No,
They
I
aren't
don't think it
waterproof,
gets
you know. Bloody kids come into the bloody store.
I mean,
Put their
In
lips
fairness,
over
sir.
everything.
in fairness, sir, your shop seems quite clean of blood.
I would hope so. What kind of shop do you
That's
think
what
I
I-
run?
A cursed shop,
The shop is not cursed.
but the merchandise is.
Yes.
You guys hear like subtle whooshing noises, and Amon's just behind everybody, like punching the air.
Rikki's shaking her head, and she kind of glances at Cedra and is like, I was trying to make... and then she decides against saying anything. You see my...
You can't buy it all yourself.
You see my rather fetching young Toreador friend.
What's
You
a
wouldn't
Toreador?
happen...
Oh, that's one of your little family names, isn't it? Yes.
You wouldn't
Right.
happen...
She would look good in high heels.
Rikki
does.
waves her hand dismissively at that.
I was told to wear flats.
She was.
Rikki just shakes her head a moment and just kind of waves her hand in a questioning gesture towards the shopkeep. We're not here to shop for shoes tonight, but would you happen to have anything that might, complement her very well? A dress, perhaps.
How about
Dresses
this? And
don't
Cedra holds
talk.
up a necklace.
I wouldn't give her the necklace. It has this rather interesting habit of tightening around someone's throat until their head pops off.
Oh,
Well,
too
that could be
cursed.
very handy.
Cedra puts it back.
I do have a very elegant black dress with gold inlay and red lining. This dress has a history.
Go on.
The dress once belonged to a lady named Serena Prahar, prize child of Garanol of the Clan of Death. It was thought she died in 1141 in the collapse of Viscerid Castle. It was this that she was able to survive the Giovanni Purge of the Cappadocian clan. This dress was recovered from the wreckage of the castle. It still rings with the aura of the former owner. last seen these nights in Jerusalem. One assumes naked, as the dress is here. That's a little joke.
It would be very inconvenient for her, but the dress is here now. And it does sound
I look
quite
over at Rhapsody and I say, if it's any consolation, we got this from here too.
He's wearing the
Nice.
jacket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rhapsody's been just sort of looking around at what is actually in the store. 'Cause she's never been here before.
All right, let us continue to play. I could offer you a story about Odin.
That's rather dull. I knew him.
Oh, he would be. Fuck. What else might I speak to you about? I could tell.
Perhaps your companion might want to chime in. After all, you have a member of the Clan of Death with you tonight.
Isaac, don't melt him, please.
Isaac's probably too busy looking at the books.
Isaac, you're muted.
Oh, yes, I am. Isaac would have been looking over at like occult curios and books and tomes and things. He hears his name mentioned, the Court of Death mentioned. He'd stroll to the front. Ah, yes, did you need me for something?
How aware
Isaac,
are you of your clan history?
Some of it these days, it's quite varied, if you will.
Are you aware of Serena?
The name rings a bell. She was of the main clan. She was of Clan Giovanni, right?
She was Cappadocian. She survived the Purge.
Oh, Cappadocian.
You know it's bad when you have to educate the Clan of Death about their own clan. I thought family was so
I
important.
think
that you'd
he's
sleep with your own
distracted by your
sisters.
curios.
I'm quite sorry. Yes, there's very few Cappadocians who survived the purge, and I believe didn't she make it a point to hunt the Giovanni?
At that point, I'm afraid I'm unaware of her personal history.
Yes, Serena. All right.
But I'm sure that you could, no doubt, provide some assistance on how to acquire this prized item for your companion.
Very well, what would you be interested in as payment?
Make me an offer. Make it interesting. With feeling.
Tell him a story.
Oh. Rikki glances to Isaac. What about the story of that house? You know it better.
Oh, very well. I don't know if he'd be concerned with it, but there is a quite haunted house here in Oxford, and that home, the home is so haunted that the very house itself has become fetter for the soul. The soul itself is bound to the house. It bleeds through the pipes. And no matter where you go in the house, the spirit is present. It's quite interesting, and I would suggest not turning on the tap.
It reminds me of a hotel I once heard of. Santa Monica. Isaac,
Oh, yes.
charisma, occult. Difficulty 4. Let's make it interesting for you.
Okay. Yeah, it might not cut it. Let's see. Charisma occult.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Oops.
Interesting. I will.
There's no point.
Hmm.
You cannot
There's no
get
point.
success 4.
I cannot. Not with that much
Consult
hunger.
the old sheet.
You did make it interesting, Shiv.
I did make it interesting.
Hmm.
Let's go with morbidity.
Okay.
Until you successfully predict the death of someone, you suffer a 3 dice penalty to all your rolls.
Right.
Hmm. Could Rikki continue the story?
Of course.
In the house my companions speaks of, sir, we investigated it a long time ago. So, in this house, there was a decayed vampire, staked to the wall by the leg of a chair. And you know how I believe she got there?
Go on.
Was she a young woman? Was she an older woman? I don't know. Were they husband and wife? Perhaps. But she had occupied them. But there was a man and there was a woman there. I don't believe the man was kindred, but she was. And it seems they resided there together for a time, until it became too much for him. They fought, quarreled, and she ended up staked to the wall by a leg of the chair. He couldn't live with himself, so he took his life in the shower. And somehow, from there, he flowed down the drain and now resides in the pipes.
This sounds like a dark, dark story about a dark, dark house in a dark, dark city. Please do a charisma and occult roll at difficulty 3 for me, please.
Shoot. No performance roll.
I'll let you have performance. Charisma and performance. Difficulty 3.
Yeah,
I mean, she's got the spooky story lighting.
Yeah, I was going for the this is a spooky story.
Yeah,
I'm
happy
on the
with
corner
performance.
going with a light switch.
There you go. A most interesting tale. One that has become rarer these modern nights. I would be very happy for you to have this dress. And, who is it for?
Rikki turns and nods to Rhapsody. For my beautiful friend there.
Very well. Would you like it gift wrapped?
Perhaps
The
just a
wrapping
bag.
is cursed. The bag is also cursed.
I believe I have one of my own bags, if that's all right, sir.
It's always better to have a bag for the unlife.
So I have learned. And Rikki reaches into her messenger bag she always carries, pulls out a discarded, plastic shopping bag, with which she can place the dress in to hand to Rhapsody. Always useful to have these things about. And then she goes over.
Good shopkeeper. Oh, sorry.
And then she goes over and presents the dress to Rhapsody. Something for you to try on later.
Thank you.
Rikki nods a bit shyly. You're welcome. And then she goes back over to the shopkeep.
Good shopkeeper, you wouldn't happen to have a copy of the Necronomicon or any of the other great tomes of death, would you?
I'm afraid the Necronomicon Ex Mortis is currently out. I believe someone named Ash has it.
A shame. Ash, very well. Perhaps if Ash ever returns the book, I'll take a look at it myself.
I'm sure that will happen in the future.
Very well, very well.
He's a very handy man to know.
Rikki glances about a bit more, and then reaches into her pocket and just pulls out one of her knuckle dusters, not putting it on, but just holding it out to show to the shopkeeper. My other friend fancies himself a bit of a boxer. You wouldn't happen to have anything like this, would you, though? A bit fancier, perhaps plated in silver?
And less cursed.
Which one of them fancies themselves a boxer?
Rikki smirks.
Amon's punching the air in the background.
Rikki smirks a little and nods in Isaac's direction.
Well, every time I get in a fight, I mean, I'm not much for punching, but I certainly can take a punch.
I have
punching
something.
me is like iron.
I have something suitable. A silver brass knuckle with the words "Have a nice night" engraved upon them. But I also have a jar of dirt he might be interested in.
Don't do it!
I've got a jar of dirt!
Is that grave dirt?
Yes.
Rikki puts her weapon away where it belongs. All right. What is so special about this grave dirt?
I'm glad you asked. The
You
dirt
do it.
is imbibed with a special property, taken from a recently robbed grave, where the corpse has been fed kindred vitae in an attempt to awaken a new creature of the night. Whether the ritual succeeds or not, this jar of dirt still is magical. If you sleep with a handful of such dirt in your palm, you will awaken no hungrier than when you slept. However, there is only enough dirt here to last you 1 week.
Ricky's eyes
that
raise
sounds quite useful, especially because I've been so famished lately.
And
Don't
Rikki will
eat the
wince very
dirt.
hard as Isaac mentions that. I promise he doesn't eat dirt, I think.
But
You
which
hear a
would you
glass
prefer?
container. You hear a glass container in the background kind of rock a little bit. And then you turn and you see Amon with both hands on it, trying to keep it from falling over.
You break it, you buy it! Be careful!
And
Just
the
put my hands
curse.
behind my back.
It's probably cursed.
Shoplifters will be cursed. But what would you prefer, young man? Silver knuckles? Or the jar of dirt?
He's gonna pick the jar of dirt.
Well, I mean, every time I try to punch something, I make a fool of myself. I may as well take
Oh my god,
no.
you're realizing that?
I couldn't possibly imagine that so.
Rikki stifles a giggle.
Amon just puts a sentimental, pat on the shoulder to Isaac.
It doesn't mean I'll give up, though.
It should.
have-
just bursts out in laughter.
I have at times tried to encourage my friend not to involve himself in what was doomed to be physical conflicts. It's proven a futile effort.
I can take a punch better than anyone else here.
I can tell
I'm
from the
telling
look on
you,
your
back
face.
in my day.
Or at least what's left of your
Well,
face.
now. Yes. Well, it's a story for another time, but it is a unfortunate turn to events that led me to being so mangled.
Hmm.
Isn't that
Go
right,
on.
Rikki?
Rikki sighs and nods. We were pursuing an entity known as the Ripper. Our guide was taken. I was... He turns her head a bit. Rather hoping to have spoken to her at great length at a later time. She was snatched in front of me. I grew angry. We argued. We shouted.
Don't
And
forget
there
the
were
part where all this
lupines upon
happened in
us.
werewolf territory.
And the part where we said we need to leave in 30 seconds and then you didn't.
Yes, there was a 15-foot beast. And
It
in
had
addition
15
to that,
feet? No wonder it ran
No,
so
sir.
fast.
No, sir. It had 2
How does it find
feet.
shoes? Oh.
It doesn't. I don't think it does. Unless, of course, it
Do you
changes
have shoes
size,
for 15
which I
feet?
suspect it does.
No, I've never seen anyone with a 15-foot shoe size. How would
Hey,
they
Ahmad,
fit in
do
the
you-
doorway?
Do you remember
They
shopping
wouldn't.
at Christmas and being so fucking annoyed because your wife took so long looking for one bag? This is what this feels like.
Rikki just ignores that.
Hey, Xavier, I promise I'll share my wine with you.
No, it's just how much longer can we stand in this place?
If you want, I can
I'm
get
sorry,
some seats.
the beast,
You were
the beast
asking
was
for
4.5 meters tall.
What's a meter?
Are the seats cursed?
The,
Probably.
A meter is 100 centimeters. It is a measure of length that is quite popular in Europe, though for some strange reason it has not caught on yet here in our British Isles. We still stick to the imperial system, based off of our old fractions. We enjoy it. We have our pride as, the British after all. But still, yes, the rest of the world does prefer this meter, as it divides very nicely into factors of 10. It's about close to a yard in length. 3 foot-ish, give or take a little bit.
It's a measurement of length.
So what you're trying to say is this monster was bloody big and it had 3 feet. Got it.
2 feet, sir, but it was bloody big.
Well, not if it was only 2 foot tall.
No, it was over 15 feet tall at the least, perhaps much taller. We didn't get a clear look at it. Thing moved fast as fuck.
That's
Couldn't see
probably
much
because it had
more than
15
him.
feet.
It may very well have, for all we
Yeah.
knew. We didn't see the feet, though I did see the tracks.
You now hear a metal on metal clang as Amon face palms.
Sadra's looking
Yes, it
at the
was-
bottle, thinking about opening it.
yes, the
Ricky's
beast was
just
about.
So, sir,
Is there a knock?
are you
When did I ever
interested
have a door?
we came through it, sir.
You knocked?
No, we just walked through the door, sir. I apologize if we should have knocked.
I'll have
For
to...
the
At
first
any
time
rate.
ever, we didn't knock.
Sir, you seemed interested in this creature, or perhaps are you more interested in the nature of a meter?
Tell me more about the nature of a meter.
A meter is 100
And let's
centimeters.
not bore
in length.
everyone with that actual definition of a meter, because I'm sure everyone knows. We'll assume that you do explain it, and you explain it well. But do for me a charisma and performance. At
I feel like the
difficulty-
shop.
Go on.
Oh no, I was waiting for you to finish.
Difficulty 2.
But I figured that the shopkeeper would just be like, "What is a centimeter? What is a millimeter?"
5.
I was going to go there, but Tavi preempted me.
Should have had
Sorry.
Flint RP this guy. He does those questions better.
That's true.
Well, fuck you.
Flint would be a good shopkeep.
That
You
was
didn't
too
get
many
the joke.
successes?
You didn't get the
Wait.
joke.
So would you prefer the knuckles or the jar of dirt?
If I tell you of the beast too, may I have both?
No.
I think my
But
friend would be
I'll
safe
give you
with-
some free Froga.
We do have a friend
I
who
thought we got
enjoys
Frogurt with
Frogurt.
the
I will
purchase.
greatly appreciate that. And I would feel much safer for my friend now that you have explained the merits of this wonderful dirt.
The free Frogurt with every purchase was an old policy. We were going bankrupt.
Oh, no
It was
Frogurt.
good Frogurt.
I mean, I'm a
Is
shop
the
that
Frogurt
doesn't
also
accept money.
cursed?
We can't just be giving away Frogurt anymore. It's a very bad financial situation that we've actually put ourselves in. We don't accept money for things, yet somehow we always have stock.
Are you not
I'll give you $5
the
for
manager of
Frogurt.
the shop,
She
sir?
pulls out a £5 note.
Deal. Would you like sprinkles? The sprinkles are cursed.
Only if they're cursed.
They are.
Perfect.
And you are getting Frogurt with sprinkles. And what about you, young
Mine's
lady?
just
You go back to punching the air. We're doing business here, child. Would you like the knuckles or the dirt?
I would feel much better if my friend Isaac could benefit from the dirt, sir.
Young boxing man that fancies himself as Cassius Clay. Knuckles or dirt?
Oh. Well, I mean,
Or death.
I said the dirt, but if that's the wrong answer, I suppose I can take the knuckles.
I'm sorry, I
think it's
didn't
not
hear you say
Jeopardy,
the dirt. You can
Jesus.
have the dirt.
Oh, yes, the dirt. Thank you very much.
The dirt. Everyone loves the dirt. Would you like it gift wrapped?
Yes, please.
Wrapping is
like
cursed.
dirt gift wrapped.
The gift wrap is cursed, right?
Absolutely.
What is the curse of the gift wrap?
It's very hard to
That
work
is
with.
cursed.
Better than the guaranteed paper cut every time you touch it.
But not impossible.
True.
No, that's the blue gift wrap. Isaac's getting the green one.
I believe you have now gifts for all of your friends.
Except
nice.
you.
Remember, please remember,
See,
shop smart. Shop at my shop.
I shall remember
yes.
that. in
Cedar
future.
walks up and says, "It is my favorite shop. But what do you have for the lady?"
Rikki looks to Cedra. We didn't come here for gifts for me.
Everyone else got something.
Everyone else didn't nearly get everyone else killed last week.
I believe my gift to her is the hope that I am appeasing some of your anger and wrath.
Rikki nods, just very somberly.
Want some Frogurt?
You know I can't eat that. That's for Dolores.
Cedar shrugs and takes a bite.
Rhapsody looks up from the jewelry and says to the shopkeeper, "Oh, also about that shop smart thing. Is it really smart to shop at a cursed shop?"
Beats
At
Marks
least
and
you know what
Spencer.
you're getting.
We're cheaper than Marks and Spencer. And unlike other shops, we don't
Sure.
charge VAT.
Oh.
You don't charge money at all.
Yes. So we're better.
I just spent $5 on this Frogurt.
She offered.
True.
That was a donation. You don't have to pay VAT for donations.
Amon's just looking at the new gauntlets he's wearing. He's like, "Do you have any more information about the scourge this came from?"
No. Why would I have information on someone so boring?
Boring.
Rikki gives the shopkeeper a low bow. Thank you very, very much, sir. I shall definitely speak very highly of your shop in future.
Well, you don't have to be high to speak of me. Thank you. I think people might believe you more if you're sober.
Duly noted, sir. And Rikki gives a nod and starts to make her way out of the shop.
Cedra pats him on shoulder on the way out, and then says over her shoulder to the shopkeep, "Good Frogert!" Takes another bite and walks out.
I'm not just like, they're not lame, are they, CJ?
As you walk out, by the way, the
No, they
shopkeeper is
suit
there,
you so well.
desperately trying to clean that card.
Brett
Totally not a marked card.
follows Rikki out. The slight smile on her face.
Hmm.
Thank you, Rikki. I hope this dirt will help curb my hunger while I try to heal up for my grievous wounds.
Just don't eat
Nice.
the dirt.
Right, I won't eat it. I'll just sleep with it.
Yes, that's far more sensible.
Are we in the vehicle now?
You want to move on?
Mhm.
Okay. Is there anything you wish to discuss on your drive? Or would you like to wait until you're at the Coterie domain?
I just wait.
Get to the domain. Ricky's likely to be very quiet and curled up into a quiet ball in the back of the car.
Fair. The
How many
Coterie head back-
glasses are in that bottle?
None. It's all wine in the bottle.
Let's go with 6.
So
I
it's
mean,
an
how big
infinite
are the
bottle,
glasses? It's a wine bottle's worth of wine. How much are you filling the glasses up? What are the size of the glasses?
Huh? It's
Yes.
I'm just telling you, it's something you're gonna have to think about.
Not me.
Then it's an infinite bottle to me.
Yeah, to you it is. How far through that champagne are you? Oh shit.
Probably about halfway.
Oh great. Okay.
The champagne isn't that bad, though.
How about 1.5 liters of wine?
Oh my god. 6 gallons. No. The Coterie head back to their domain and park up.
It's a big bottle.
Inside the
Ooh,
pub,
but I love barefoot Chardonnay.
the customers are still packing in the place, but keeping very strictly in their own social groups. Mo seems to be busy working behind the bar and taking drinks over to various people. You can see he's busy and clearly listening intently to what everyone is saying.
On the way in, Rikki just kind of glances up around the higher points around the entrance just to see if she can spot a certain owl.
There is no owl.
Hmm.
But the
Cedar goes
I'll
up
be
to
back.
the bar. Hey Mo, can I have a bucket of ice?
Mo is too busy.
Cedar goes behind the bar and fills up a bucket with ice.
Fine.
She sticks the bottle in the bucket of ice and walks downstairs.
You realise, of course, by the way, this is red wine.
Well, duh, it's got blood in it.
Rapesty just walks straight downstairs.
There is a perfect temperature for wine, and it's just barely below room temperature.
It's a really special bottle of wine. She's not going to drink it improperly.
As you head in
Some
to
would
the
say-
underground, the basement, you will see 2 notes from Dolores resting on the table in an office.
Cedar picks them up and reads the notes.
The first note.
Wine
is
bottle in
marked-
one hand, so she puts that down and keeps eating the Froger while she's reading the notes.
The first note is marked for Xavier.
Oh, skip that one.
The second note simply reads, "You told me to remind you that you had to go see Dr. Benson in the Randolph Hotel tonight and to ask for him at the desk."
Is there anyone else downstairs? Has anyone followed me?
Yeah,
I think I
He would have gone down.
Amon has went downstairs, and in his usual booth, instead of sitting in the chair, he is sprawled out on the table.
I didn't think we needed to say we went downstairs. Like, a couple of us constantly just beeline it down to the office anyways. So, yes, Xavier is downstairs.
Ricky's perched rather than sat on an ottoman that's been placed in the back of the room, seemingly for the purpose of her doing that.
As Xavier walks in the room, Cedar just hands him the note.
You know, what's this? I read it.
The
Got your
note
name on
reads, "Your child is still missing." Oh yeah. Someone named Daniel Jones says he knows you. Anyway, he said your child is still missing, and as far as he can tell, she was spending more time around the John Radcliffe Hospital area before she went missing.
I didn't know you were going to give me info.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody said they knew me?
Knew
Is that what
me.
that-
It's a note from me, but she wrote Xavier on it because it's Dolores.
Oh.
Because as far as I remember, it's
So
not
confused
your
on why
kid
the-
that's missing.
No, I know, but I'm still. I give it to Amon. I'm confused by the whole message, anyways. Just in general, like it should make sense to me, and it doesn't at all.
I guess since everybody went in the office, I'm now in the office sprawled out on some kind of furniture. And I'm laying on my back and I just hold the note above my face. What did it say again? I thought it was for Xavier, so I didn't use my listening ears.
What did you use? Your ears of corn?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm glad we got through that maze.
Can you read the note again, Ship?
Certainly. Someone named Daniel Jones says he knows you. Anyway, this is what happens when I don't put grammar in my own fucking notes. Anyway, he said, your child is still missing. As far as we can tell, she was spending more time around the John Radcliffe Hospital area before she went missing.
Well, I mean, don't worry about the name. That's just my contact. Kind of like your Steve. I guess we need to go looking around John Radcliffe Hospital. That's not where
The doctor.
Doctor lives, is it? It is. All right, Amon says that, but is a little bit more worried, remembering that that's where the doctor's from. I had a feeling it was, but I just wanted to double check. Thinking that somehow the doctor's involved with what went on.
Meanwhile, Cedar opens the bottle of wine.
You will find the details of that in your wardrobe.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ooh. I'm curious now. What are we sitting around here for? Missing child that I don't remember? And I'm just waving the note around. Still sprawled out on whatever furniture I'm on. Just waving the note around.
I would like to point out that it would probably not be a good idea to go to the Tremere domain in the middle of a Tremere civil war. But you do you.
I believe, don't we have a hotel to be at this evening?
I can think of one other thing maybe we should do, and it might be a wise detour considering I don't know about anyone else, but I'm hungry, and I bet a lot of you are too.
I don't know. I kind of feel like
Cedra pours
you're
a glass
Okay.
and hands it to Rikki and says, "Join me with some wine."
How do you stomach that? I appreciate it, Cedra, but that was a gift for you.
There's blood in it.
All right. Rikki takes the glass and takes an experimental sip.
Meanwhile,
Resolve.
Cedra pours another glass and hands it to Isaac.
Rikki,
Says, "Join me with a glass of wine."
resolve and occult difficulty 3, please.
Oh boy.
Oh crap, that's something she
Oh, wait.
has no points in. And she has 4 hunger. There is no way she's passing this. Or
Successfully
maybe
managed to
she
keep
does.
the wine with the vitae down.
Yes, thank you, Cedra. This is most generous of you. And Isaac would drink it.
Rikki, you may slake 3 hunger. Isaac, resolve and occult difficulty 3, please.
Okay.
That's fine. You may slake 3 hunger. Rikki and Isaac, by the way, you also get a +1 modifier for all your discipline rolls for the night.
whoa.
Cedra pours another glass. Would anyone else like some wine?
No thanks.
Armand's just waving the paper around. Missing kid?
Xavier?
No, good thing.
Not dealing with that tonight.
I'm
Cedra
sorry.
drinks the glass herself.
We're not dealing with what? Since when the fuck did you give a fuck about his kid anyways? How about you don't make the decision about when we go find his kid and worry about something else?
Okay, so you want to go out to this hospital, right?
Did I say yes?
No, you said nothing.
Okay.
I have a question about the hunger.
Yes,
I'm assuming that doesn't take us to 0.
correct.
Okay.
So what's the next? Oh, again, Cedra, thank you. I actually feel quite amazing now. My hunger's minor. But
Cedra
we
puts the cork in it and puts it in the fridge.
we should be off to see Dr. Benson, right? That's who we are scheduled to speak with.
Rikki nods and sets her glass down on the table. I was also wondering, did we ever share our knowledge of the Ripper with Pandora, and do we need to yet, or do we wait for further evidence?
I mean,
Not a bad
I
idea.
feel like the information we gathered was kind of assumed by her already, so I guess it would just be confirmation at this point. She's been the one telling us it's something bigger than a werewolf or a young kindred.
I'm with Amon
I
at
think
this
we-
point. Nothing
we
we're
stopped by
going
when
to give
Kendrick
her. Nothing we're going to give her is concrete enough for it to be anything of substantial evidence. Hey, we saw this fast thing come and grab this random ass gangrel that just popped out of nowhere. What do? Yeah, like, how big was it? We think 15 feet? What did it look
We
like?
could give her the.
Nope, no idea.
We can still give her the information if we're everyone releasing.
I mean, the only thing we can confirm is
Yeah, we
don't go to
can
that
yeah.
fucking park.
Well,
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what I was thinking.
if we're
We
at
have a
Elysium-
location in mind.
We don't have to go see her for that. We can just call her. We got phones installed here for a reason.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, phones.
Hmm.
I should get a pager. Cedra, Sidra is from the 90s.
I know, that's why I laughed.
Alright, if that needs doing, which of us should speak to Pandora? I'm willing. I've fucked up enough. I can take the hit.
We don't need to speak. I don't think we need to speak to Pandora right away. We could
Alright,
No.
then we won't.
do it
I
when
don't-
we're in your lease.
That's her Toreador pet saying that, so I think we're fine.
Rikki turns
Also,
and gives
Pit.
Sidra
I
a
don't-
scowl.
I don't see how you would take a hit just for telling Pandora the truth.
No, it's usually Pandora that takes the hit.
So are we going to
I
see
guess
this friend of yours, Sidra?
Dr. Benson? Seems like a good idea.
Amon grumbles and just stuffs the note in his pocket.
Amon.
Hmm.
Rhapsody is right. It is a bit of a dumb thing to just start prancing around next to the doctor's haven while all this shit's going on. Doesn't mean we can't go over there, but no offense, Isaac. If we're going to go, we need as least amount of people as possible, and we don't really need people around that could make a lot of noise.
Just to be clear, I'm referring to going to Dr. Benson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking to Amon about going to find his kid.
He's saying if we go to the
Yeah.
unsafe place, it should be only the stealthy people.
We're going to get in and get out. He gave you
Still
the
don't-
info about Horus and Set last week, Miss Hartz? Remember that conversation?
Okay.
You wrote a
yeah.
bunch of stuff down. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually wrote this down and I still don't remember. Yeah.
What we'll do, while they're all deciding where to move
Yes.
from their domain, we'll take a break. It looks like Sidra could do with some more champagne. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We come back with the Coterie, still in the Coterie domain, deciding their next move.
I think we need to go see Dr. Madsen.
Well,
Yeah, that's
yes, that was the plan.
yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, I'll be right back. Cedra takes another bite of the Frogurt and then walks up to the the story above the ground floor,
Were Kayla's
and knocks
pictures
on the
at?
door to, yes, and knocks on the door to Dolores' apartment.
Sidra! You don't have to knock.
It's only polite. I'm not staying or anything. I just wanted to give you this. And she gives Dolores the a little bit eaten Frogurt.
Dinner! Thank you.
It's Frogurt. Your favorite.
No sprinkles?
I ate them all. But they were
Okay.
cursed. I was saving you.
Oh, that's so selfless. How weird. Do you need a bite to eat?
But the rest
'Cause
of
I'm
the
free.
I'm actually quite good right now, but I do still owe you.
Yeah, you do.
I'll take you up on that. But
Please.
until now, have some Frogurt.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good night. See you release.
Oh, did you get the notes?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent.
By the way, Amanda and Xavier are the opposite people than you think they are. Okay, bye.
They're people?
Cedra's walked off.
We were.
As Cedra heads out, Rikki just kind of says, or looks to Amon and says, "You driving? I'll be at the car if you are."
Of course I'm driving. I always drive.
All right.
I don't like other people driving. Unless I'm hurt. I can't drive.
Rikki takes a look, gives
fix that.
Amon a look. You are still somewhat hurt. Are you driving?
Well, I mean, I've got both arms and both legs for now. And I just turned
I mean, you even drove when you had one arm, didn't you?
No, I let Xavier drive that night.
Rikki gives Amon a pat on the shoulder. If there's anything you need my help with your kid, let me know.
I've honestly probably already left. I didn't stop to conversate.
Oh, okay. So Rikki just follows out and we're headed to the car.
All right. Everyone heading to the car?
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Anything you wish to discuss on your drive?
Ricky's a bit more
Now
relaxed.
that Isaac's...
Go on.
I was just gonna say now that Isaac's a lot less hungry, he might spend some effort to heal superficial damage while we take the call.
Do a rouse check for me, please. Okay, you may heal 1 superficial.
If all the damage I have is aggravated, I can't heal any with superficial, right? Okay.
Correct.
Then, yep. I don't talk to nobody.
Rikki, while just being quiet in the back of the car, will kind of do the same, healing the rest of her wounds. Or try to.
Superficial?
Just 1 superficial.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
Hunger gain.
Okay. But you may heal 1 superficial.
And otherwise,
else?
Rikki seems...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, Rikki seems much more relaxed, but she's still being very quiet.
The Coterie arrive outside the Randolph Hotel. The last time they were here, it was for the masquerade ball months ago. A valet approaches their car and offers to park it for them. Park your car, sir, Governor?
Sure. I just got it though, so don't scratch it. And I hand him the keys.
Takes the keys off you, gets in the car, drives it around the corner, puts it in the official car park.
We've all gotten out at this point.
All going into the lobby to get some snacks.
Yes, sir.
Go into the lobby.
As the Coterie enter into the grand hall, the man behind the desk gives them all a collective judging look before finally settling his eyes on Cedra. How may I help you?
We're here to see Dr. Benson.
Dr. Benson is in the Crescent Suite. Please take the lift up to the 4th floor. The room is along the hall in the direction of the main road. Don't track mud along the
Thank you.
carpet.
Cedra self-consciously checks her shoes. Thank you. And then continues to the elevator.
Rikki actually takes a few steps back, scuffs her shoes on the welcome mat, and quietly follows Cedra in.
Rapsty checks her own shoes and follows him behind Rikki.
Isaac
I
would
didn't even hesitate.
would try to make sure he gets all the grave dirt off his loafers before he heads in.
I don't even
Wonderful.
hesitate. I just follow Cedra.
Yeah, I'd fuck my shoes. I just walk ahead.
You enter into the lift. pull it to the 4th floor. Is there anything you wish to discuss in the lift?
Ricky,
Is there any elevator music?
No. This is a classy hotel.
Aw, I was gonna make you hum it.
Classy. This place
One
looks
Classy
cool.
and no music? That means you can hear the elevator. That's terrible. I hate hearing the
Yeah.
elevator.
Hey, Cedra.
I mean, technically you wouldn't hear the elevator, but that would be very poor background noise on my part.
Xavier?
Hey, before we get off, there's probably something you need to see before you go talk to this guy some more. And I'll pull
See?
my sleeve up. Remember
Xavier
the mark I had
reveals-
from the grave dart?
Yeah.
It's a tattoo. Then I show you.
It looks like
You have to
a
remind me
very
what the mark was.
red,
It's new.
inflamed, painful scar in the shape of the Eye of Horus.
You know what the Eye of Horus looks like, right?
I thought you got that from a dream. It hasn't faded yet?
I got it. It wasn't this before. It was a mark of Lilith before. It's changed.
Did you have another dream?
Nope. Been like this. Been getting like this for the last couple weeks, but after what your buddy said last week, figured it was probably worth you knowing about before we went and talked to him again.
Have you had any other dreams?
Nope. And before anybody else asks, no, I don't want to tell you how I got it, because I really don't know.
Ricky raises a hand. I wouldn't have dared ask.
But it's just a little coincidental with everything going on, and now this mummy coming to town, and I've got this thing.
Yes, Xavier, that is most quizzical, most puzzling. And,
Thanks for stating the obvious, Isaac.
I would say it's it can't be a coincidence. That's just too unusual.
Well, Actually, I guess there is something I can tell everybody. Most of us are aware of the dreams, and before with the Mark of Lilith came from the Zemits.
Yeah.
Ricky raises an eyebrow and then just shrugs.
But since that's been resolved, it's changed into this. Probably still from the Zemits.
Do you think Zemitsi is visiting you in your sleep and flesh crafting tattoos on you?
I mean, I haven't had a dream in months. Well, weeks. Maybe months. I don't know, at this point, nights run together.
Cedra runs her hands over the tattoo without asking him first.
It's not really a tattoo, it's more like scarring, isn't it? Like you know what I'm talking about, Shiver?
So she'd feel it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you maybe some sort of mirror?
I have no idea what you're talking about, first off, and I doubt it. I mean, unless, stealing Zmeetsy grave dirt makes you a mirror.
You'd be an odd choice, but
Would Ricky know the significance of Zemitsi grave dirt? I don't think she
No.
would yet.
No.
Good ass.
The coterie reflect on the words spoken until the elevator comes to a stop.
very long 4-story elevator ride.
That's
Very
why you
slow.
go through the elevator is so quiet. Or it's so slow, sorry.
The coterie exit the lift into a long, carpeted hallway. They walk to the end of the hall, and their footsteps give out a muffled stump with each step forward before they reach the crescent suite
I
door.
put my jacket back down, by the way.
Isaac would approach the door and knock.
And Dr. Benson answers the door. Ah, excellent. You made it. Come in, please. Take a seat. Dr. Benson gestures you all in.
Rikki
Isaac would
nods
give
with a
a
smile.
polite bow and take a seat.
Rikki
After
nods with a
everyone-
smile and
Sorry, go on.
no, I was just going to say Rikki nods with a smile and says, "Good to see you again, Dr. Benson," before taking her seat.
And you, Rikki. After everyone has come inside, Dr. Benson goes, stands by the window in front of you. Oh, yes. Law dump coming. You were warned.
Get your notebooks out.
As you can see, I have taken temporary residence here, across the street from the Ashmolean Museum itself. What better way to watch the comings and goings? The mummy itself is yet to be dropped off here, though I'm hopeful it will happen soon. To business first, though, shall we? Now, the first thing I have for you is your contact. Which I will give to you now.
Contact?
Yes.
Yeah, contact within the
Ministry.
Church of Set?
In the ministry.
Within the ministry.
Her name is Imperatrice. God, I probably mangled that. She has been active in kindred politics for her entire existence. As a member of the ministry, and in England at the time of our Lord Mithras, in order to survive, she had to learn how best to manipulate the politics of those around her. She is willing to assist you with your investigation into the Church of Set and Ramlar. She will no doubt be in contact with your group very soon. Between her, myself, and you, we will be able to thwart the Church of Set and their machinations soon, I have no doubt. From what I have been able to divine in regards to Ramlar, it seem in order for her to rise again, a sacrifice must first be made. Not just any sacrifice, you understand. It has to be the reincarnation of Ramlar herself. It would be logical to assume the Church of Set will be looking for this individual. Sadly, though, I have not been able to discover how they will know who this individual is. Though on the bright side, if I haven't figured it out, this means that the Church of Set are unlikely to know either. Before I continue, is there anything you wish to ask of me?
Actually, yes. I've been encountering the Eye of Horus a lot in my studies. But would there be special significance to a tattoo? Perhaps on a kindred?
On a kindred? That would be most interesting.
Yeah.
A kindred cannot be tattooed in normal means. Usually it's done by a
Indeed.
Tremere. The Eye of Horus. Horus was an enemy of Set, and also kindred himself, if legends are to be true, and also defeated him, as I explained before. The significance, though, interesting. It is entirely possible that this could be the mark of Ramlar. However, that wouldn't be in keeping with the Church of Set's ideals, as they abhor Horus. I will have a think about this and consult with various contacts I have. At this point, the Coterie hear a faint noise, before the doctor suddenly grabs his neck, starts sweating. He looks around panicking and screaming, shouting out things like, "Get away from me!" and "Get out!" He reaches into his pocket, pulls out a hunting knife, and starts stabbing wildly at his own body, before finally falling to the floor, with blood ebbing from his still body.
Well, at least one of us reached out to stop him as quick as we could.
What?
Rikki
Go
just
us.
mutter.
Is he still alive?
No,
Rikki mutters, "Fuck," and gets back to the door. He said to back away. We don't know why.
No, I think he
Isaac,
told
can
whatever
you see
killed him
anything in this
to
room?
back away.
Isaac would back away a little bit, and then he would try to use Sense the Unseen, looking at Dr. Benson, and then
You see nothing out of the ordinary.
I don't see any supernatural any supernatural auras or so anything like that. It looks quite mundane to me. Residue.
Common theme of the night. I guess we started off with curses. We ended with an Egyptian doctor being cursed.
Also dead.
Also dead. Hey, Isaac.
Curses do that.
Actually, let's look around this room, see if he brought anything that really matters to him. We might be able to talk to him.
I suppose I could try.
It's a shame their body isn't considered something that they really care about.
I'd use the finding the feather to see if I can look around and find a feather for him.
That's going to be an automatic success, and no. Would you like a clue?
No, Xavier, it doesn't seem like... Huh?
Have a clue. Stop thinking so supernaturally.
Rikki is back at the door, has opened it, is just glancing outside to make sure she can back into the hallway. Still kind of a little spooked by how he said, "Get away from me."
Cedra
What's your
goes
problem?
up to him and inspects the body, cradles his head. What? Very compassionate thing to do.
My favourite. Could you do for me intelligence or wits, whichever you prefer, and investigation or awareness, whichever you prefer, at difficulty 1? You search through the doctor's body, and after checking his pockets, you find an old-fashioned pocket watch, and it's still working, a handkerchief, and in his neck, a very small dart.
There's a dart in his neck. Where in the world did this come from?
I think we know. And where's the window at?
Right behind the body.
Cool. Is it open?
No.
Can I shut the curtain?
First of all, do for me intelligence or wits, whichever you prefer, plus investigation or awareness, whichever you prefer, at difficulty 2, please.
3.
Wonderful. You can see the window has a very small hole in it, which you work out will mean the point of origin from the dart was on the streets, right outside the Ashmolean. As you look out the window, you see a hooded figure waving to you, and then running off down the street. The opposite direction
I wave back.
that leads to the Royal Hunting Grounds.
I say that, motherfucker. I wave back and then close the curtain. So people outside can't see a dead body. I don't remember exactly who it was, but I think it's the Ministry that uses blow darts because they're more stealthy and less loud. I might be wrong with exactly who, but he got hit by a dart. Obviously, it's in your hand.
Well,
Yeah, Cedra pulls out the dart and offers it to anyone who wants to look.
I don't know if any particular bloodline is more prone to use a type of weapon than any other, but I mean, the good doctor here was expert in Egyptology. Imagine if anyone is after him, it would be the followers of Set or the Ministry who would do something of the sort.
Yes. The fact that we're here on things to do with the Ministry of Set and the Ministry and the followers of Set doesn't give that away already.
Got bigger issues with that though, because do they know he's dealing with kindred?
He was a ghoul of, I believe he said Vesh Griffin. So
Yeah.
They would, if they know that, they would also know he'd be tied to Mithraean cult, probably.
and he also did say he was over 100 years old, so and working for Vesh Griffin all that time. So yeah. Rikki at this point
Actually,
is more relaxed
probably-
and walked back into the room.
It's probably a good idea, Cedra, for you to reach out to Vesh. Let him.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing.
We didn't do
Yeah,
this.
we should stop by.
Is this the room where Dr. Benson would have been sleeping in the hotel, or more like an extra meeting room?
It would probably be the room that he was sleeping in.
Rikki will look around the room and just open, how hotels have drawers and things.
That's free, and you find a Gideon's Bible.
I was gonna say.
Rikki picks up the Bible and says, Rocky Raccoon checked into his room, and all he found was Gideon's Bible. And then puts it back.
Bet the last page is missing.
I'm willing to bet that was the murder weapon.
Mm,
Bible?
he just shake. Rikki
course
shakes her
not.
head and checks under the bed and in the closet too, just to be thorough.
All free. Absolutely nothing of any interest turns up.
No luggage at all?
Why would he keep it in a bed or a closet? It's almost like
In
the
a bag
picture
on
gives
the
away
floor.
where his bag is.
Wait, what?
It's bags on the
It's in
floor.
the picture.
Oh,
I think
Dork. I didn't think.
Isaac
I keep
would want
not
to,
thinking to look there.
Isaac will go ahead and take a look through the luggage to see if he sees anything interesting.
Automatic success. Go through. You find a few books. Very old books. From around the turn of the 20th century. And he was the author.
Oh, these are most interesting. Looks like the good Dr. Benson wrote these books. I suppose he doesn't have a need for them anymore. With me, and I'll read them sometime.
Rikki steps over, places a hand on Isaac's shoulder, and says, "While I share your enthusiasm, my friend, perhaps we should ask Vesh Griffin first."
Still take the books.
Yes, you can't steal from the dead.
No, but this
I mean,
man
if anyone
wasn't.
here could ask for consent from the dead, it'd be you.
She's
If
right,
I
you know.
ever
Cedra
find
has
a
a
way to
point.
contact him, surely I will. To read his
Just
books
borrow the
before I
books for now.
contact him. It might be a good subject of discussion.
You just borrow the books for now.
Sure, Isaac will borrow the books.
Probably take his whole bag.
Gotta carry the books somehow.
I mean, why would you want to take all the clothes and other stuff?
More to the
Are
point.
they not fashionable enough for you?
Rikki shakes her
That's
head.
not to say that are any of us going to use them? Might as well just leave them there. Be weird if someone checked in without clothes.
Yeah, it's gonna be real weird when they walk in and find a dead guy too.
About that. So we met a doorman in the lobby, came up the elevator, and now we are standing here with a dead man whom we were said to be visiting.
Okay,
I
and
don't think we have to worry about it that much. We just call the right people. We're already gonna have
That's
to
what I
talk
was
to Vish.
suggesting.
I pull out the contact card. This isn't our first trip to the rodeo. This is barely a guy exploding all over Amon.
It looks pretty clean.
Still cleaning that
He had
stuff
a,
out
he had a
of my
freaking
suit.
dart in his neck. Like,
Thought though, that man at the lobby, he would be kind, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And he expects us to have gone up and seen the doctor, and will expect to have seen us out. This is a hotel. I'm certain there's closed circuit cameras in use.
Not in the rooms.
in the room? Yeah, unless they're doing
But in
voyeur
the
sites.
lobby and the elevator.
And what about what?
Rikki,
walk
Rikki,
out.
this isn't our first rodeo. You're overthinking it.
All right, I'm just saying, do we need to ensure that no one, suggests something to the local police that we went upstairs to see a
They're
man?
not going
and-
to know he died.
All right.
They're just gonna think he disappeared, and they don't know when he disappeared.
Other
Or
than
he
that,
left
Yeah.
without checking out.
Just
Which is all
left
the more
without
reason
checking.
we should take the bag.
Thank you.
I mean,
I know
we're
it sounded
gonna
like a dumb idea,
contact.
but it's not.
We're gonna contact Vesh Griffin anyway about this whole thing. So
Hmm.
until we tell him about it, because he'll probably get it taken care of, since he probably set the doctor up in this place, we use one of these, and I grab one of those do not disturb
That's
door
exactly what I was
hangers.
Yeah. I was about to ask, do they have those in the UK? Doubt
All
not
right.
disturbed.
just trying to be cautious. I know I haven't been the best at that before.
No, at least you're trying this time.
Rikki just kind of flicks Xavier off and goes back to look around the room.
I don't think flipping me off is the right thing to do after that comment. But hey, you do you.
Oh, just leave it be.
I think Isaac would look over Dr. Benson's, see if he sees anything. If not, Isaac might want to go ahead and head out.
You've exhausted all you could find from Dr. Benson's body. Nothing more to be found.
Cedra pockets the handkerchief and pocket watch.
Hmm.
I'm
Who
curious.
has the
though.
books?
Isaac has them. I am curious though. Do the Nosferatu do glass repair? Because there's a hole in that glass.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Ooh, they'll create a conspiracy
Oh,
around this and say he was some Soviet sniper or something and set up in here and tried to shoot somebody.
See, there you go.
That'd be fun.
Speaking of which, you see anything outside the window, Xavier?
Yeah, you didn't see me wave, and then say,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I did
fuck."
see you wave, but I don't know what you saw.
Hooded figure, the most vaguest of people,
Oh,
waved, and then ran that way, and I pointed to their direction in the room that they ran.
Rikki walks
Hey,
up to
we
the
know a
window and
hooded
just
figure.
glances to
And Cedra
get an
points
idea
to
of the direction
Amon.
herself.
I didn't hear.
Rikki
you say?
just walks up to the window and takes a cautious glance to get an idea of that direction herself.
You'd have to open the curtain.
Yeah, I think it's
So
best
she
to say
opened-
that she would know to open the curtain to look out the window.
Mm.
Uh,
I don't know.
I
Ricky.
don't seem to see anything.
you can just see the hooded figure still just casually walking down the street.
Rikki closes the curtain, turns back. He's still there.
Well, let's go get him.
All right. I'll be behind you.
And we're off.
And Rikki
Yeah,
starts
no.
following. Rikki will, well, if they're heading to the elevator, follow them out towards the elevator.
I will head to the elevator.
Rap still
the little
takes
do not I put the little do not disturb thing on the door as we leave.
I assume that there's nothing you wish to discuss in the elevator, so we'll just go straight.
No, we're in a
to-
hurry.
Are you taking the bag with you as well? Okay. So you exit and find yourselves out on the street.
I look down the street. Can I see the figure?
Yes, just.
Are there are there any
nearly-
other people?
There's a few scattered people about here and there. Nothing major.
I guess we run like normal people, and I take off running like a
Yep,
normal
and
person.
I follow.
Could you do for me, please? Stamina, athletics, at difficulty 4.
Do you want me to do it as well?
Yeah.
No, only one of you needs to do it.
Okay.
I'm re-rolling that.
I would have had the same amount of dice, or actually less.
Okay.
One less.
Four.
Xavier runs faster than an athletic Olympic athlete, managing to get to the street, down to the end, without actually breaking the masquerade. Just manages to catch up with the hooded figure and grabs him from behind.
I guess I subdue. Do I just have him like in a bear hug?
Yeah.
Where you going, buddy?
Get nothing back. Just a strange, unnerving smile that you can see underneath the hood.
Okay. I want to
Spin
hold
him
him.
around.
I want to hold him where he can't use his hands, and then I want to pull down his hood. This is gonna be weird.
How's that physically going to work?
It's not going to. So I'm gonna hold him, but until people show up.
And then
No.
I catch up because I was running behind him.
Rikki just following at a normal pace, trying not to draw attention to herself.
Yeah,
Rex
Caesar
is
just
just
keeps
walking.
walking.
I just see Xavier with him in a bear hug, and I walk up to him and just pull the hood down.
Amon, make sure he doesn't have anything in his mouth.
As you reach for the hood, the figure dissolves into mist. And you watch the mist fly off into the wind.
Who do we use your head? Who do we know that can turn into mist?
I don't
look at
know any
Isaac.
people that could turn into mist.
You can hear police sirens
Yes, Xavier.
in the distance coming closer.
Jesus fucking Christ! Let's go. And I keep the hood with me, and I just take off to a darker place.
We're just looking for a
Caesar
back
just
alley.
keeps walking.
Yeah.
Rikki just mutters "fuck" and just quickly follows them.
Yes, we all yell mutter fuck.
Where are you heading?
To the closest dark place, an alley, an old lady's house that knows if you keep the lights on outside, you can't see outside very well, and when it's dark inside.
I think it's fair to remind you that you are in the middle of the city centre of Oxford.
Yeah, there's no alleys. I guess that's why I said alleys first. Are there no alleys? There's no alleys.
We
Just
just need to
streets.
go get our car
Sewers?
and go.
That's what I need. Well, okay, is the car closed? There's
Well, I mean,
there's
there's-
5 more people here. Help me out here.
It was
Caesar
I-
just keeps walking down the sidewalk like that's it where she was going.
Rikki follows after Cedra, turns back at the others, and says, "They're not coming for us yet. Just keep moving," and then turns back.
you said that
I think upon the sight of Amon running out, his car would be brought round to the front of the hotel.
thank you.
Oh,
I get in my car and I follow them up the street and just start slowly driving next to them, like, get in.
I get the car.
Rikki will jump in his
Caesar would
first.
get in the
Isaac
car.
would get in the car.
Even if it's slowly going down the road, doing one of those open the door, jump in things.
I would assume that everyone's in the car
Hmm.
somehow.
Yeah.
Where would you like to go?
should probably go visit Vish Griffin.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wish to discuss on your journey?
I throw the cloak that I have at Isaac, and I say, the La Sombra turned into shadow shit. Damn it.
It didn't look like a shadow to me.
Yes, they turn into shadows, but not mist. These are two very different things.
I don't think this was
As
actually
far as I'm
the
aware,
person that shot him. I think this was a decoy.
How aware would Rikki be of? I know what that discipline is. Would Rikki at this point? It's in her clan.
No. That's quite a high level one.
Yeah. And Rikki will just shake her head. It's like, I don't know what does that.
yes, I mean, whatever it was, it turned to mist, not shadows. So I'm quite confident it's not La Sombra. We would have seen the difference between shadow and mist. Surely.
And she
I
did. That was
misspoke. God damn it. What the fuck ever. Xavier just kind of folds his arms and is grumpy the rest of the ride.
I'm pretty sure we're all damned by God anyway, so I don't think asking him to damn anything any further is going to help. What? I'm just
Give me a
saying.
drink.
No.
On your drive, Armand will notice in the rear view mirror, a car is particularly close to them. It keeps flashing its lights before they get to Vesh Griffin's hideout.
Like police
Is
flashing
there-
or just light flashing?
Probably just headlights.
Headlights, yeah.
Light horn.
I guess I'll find a spot to pull off to the side.
Not in front of Eshgriff's.
Not in front of Vesh Griffin, you didn't get that far yet. Look behind you, and you see it's a very nice, older style Jaguar. You hear a car door open and close, and then standing by the driver's window is the constable.
Rikki looks up to the front. What's wrong, Amon?
I don't even say anything to her, and I just go, what's the problem, officer?
Why do you think?
Pulled over by the vampire cops now?
Why do you think the constable of Oxford would need to talk to you?
Only going 5 miles over the speed limit, I swear.
I would be Captain Obvious with you, but I know why. And can I just say that that situation was not under our fault or...
Oh, I'm sorry. Did someone force you to take evidence from a crime scene? Did someone force you to run down a street?
Rikki is
no,
just
but
face palming quietly.
Did someone
back.
force you to draw attention to yourselves in the middle of a fucking city with fucking cameras fucking everywhere? Did someone force you to go past mortals holding the evidence from a crime scene?
It's a bag. Anyone can be carrying a bag.
It was the bag of someone who was murdered. And you were all caught on camera going into the room, coming out with his stuff, and then a dead body was discovered.
How was a dead body discovered so fast?
Again, you're in the middle of the city of Oxford and you just walked out of a 5-star hotel.
Do you not get privacy in hotels?
You do, but then when you walk out with someone else's stuff, it kind of alerts the people who own the hotel to look into it.
They recognize
I just wanted the
bags that
books to read
easy?
later.
You came in with nothing and you went out with a bag that you didn't previously have. It is standard procedure to make sure the person you visited hasn't been robbed.
That's nice.
Rikki is just groaning and shaking her head in the back.
And then 2 of you ran down the street and tried to grab someone with the police on the way.
We didn't know the
None
police
of this
were
is
a
on the way
masquerade
after
breach.
we grabbed.
The only way you could have drawn any more attention to yourselves was if you let off a fucking flare gun in the middle of the street and started screaming. I'm honestly quite
be
surprised
fair-
you didn't bother doing that.
To be fair, if the cameras caught us running and actually catching that person, they probably saw them turn to mist too.
What makes you think they didn't?
Fuck.
I didn't turn to mist. So maybe we saw a suspicious
Oh,
figure. And
was-
tried
Then
to
that's
rob them.
okay. I'll just leave that and we'll have the Second Inquisition down our throats within 3 days. But it's okay because Xavier didn't turn into mist. I will take
That's
that
not-
one to all our graves.
God.
Because we're doing things that, sure, would be questionable by local police, but are not a masquerade breach. Whoever turned into mist is. Who was that?
You brought attention down on yourselves, and now we have to clean it up.
Isaac would hand the constable one of the books. Would you like one of the books, sir?
Give me the fucking stuff.
Rikki
Cedra
just
throws the bag out the car window to him. Forcefully.
And he will catch it and not even be phased. How many times are we going to have this
Isaac would
conversation?
hand him.
You
Rikki
are
by this
aware
point.
Hand him,
of the masquerade, aren't you? You are aware that it is everyone's responsibility to uphold it. Out
We
of
have
all of
done
you,
nothing masquerade breaching.
You were fine. Even the young Gangrel was fine. The rest of you drew attention to yourselves, and now we have a police investigation that we have to spend camera resources on to hinder.
Which is not our fault. We were not the one that murdered him. Shouldn't we be
No.
go after the
Cedra.
one that murdered him?
Cedra!
But you are the ones
Cedra.
that decided to take the dead man's stuff in the middle of everyone to see, run down the street on the cameras, and then force someone to change into mist.
Yeah, Cedra, we weren't the ones that broke the masquerade, but we were the ones that, from the Kind's perspective, the ones that killed the doctor.
Again, let the kind handle that part. We should be investigating the ones that caused this.
Indeed, you will
But the
be.
fact that,
But we're the
the
ones
fact
that have
that
to
they
clean
think
up the
that-
mess that you left.
yeah, the fact that they think we killed him is the bad part.
Come on, you're not helping
I
here.
didn't think. Apologize. I didn't think anyone would miss 3 books.
It's evidence.
I
of a
suppose I
crime
was
scene,
mistaken.
You stupid little man. We
Sir,
then have you
it seems
running
like-
on
Resent that.
CCTV. So now we have to manipulate video footage.
Sir, it seems like you've argued with every single one of us at the moment. We're sorry. We know we did a bad. We know you hate us. But we're just talking in circles at this point. I hate for you
don't
to stick
hate
around and
you.
be more pissed off at
That
us.
would give you far more credit than you're worth.
Yeah, I know, but I just, we always get taken into Elysium and praised, and now we are here getting berated by you. We fucked up again.
Xavier, shut the
Sorry.
fuck up.
Sorry, you shut the fuck up, Rikki. Sorry, we've pissed you off again. Sorry, you're cleaning up our mess again. We'll make it up to you and solve some other big fucking crime nobody else can, and we'll see you in Elysium.
How
Can
about
we go
this? You don't break the masquerade. This is twice now I have allowed you to live where others have been executed for this. The masquerade
I am
is the
so
only
glad that you are
Shut the
looking for
fuck
the
up,
little
Cedra.
people. Then you say something. You're the one with all of the persuasion. Do it.
she's got a point. You don't speak up until you're pissed off, but when we've all got to fucking hide our asses, you sit there not saying, you know what, Constable, sorry, can we leave? We have obvious drama we need to figure out amongst ourselves.
Breach the masquerade one more time, and one of you will be killed on the spot.
I'm the leader. I volunteer.
Good.
Amon, go.
The constable will be standing by your vehicle and watching as you depart.
Yeah, I do that.
Is there anything you wish to discuss on your drive?
Rikki at this point.
Cedar looks pointedly at Rhapsody.
Rhapsody looks pointedly back at Cedra.
You two are going to stare at each other? You're going to fucking speak up finally?
You want to actually clear the air for a second so that I can actually fucking talk for once? If you're going to just yell over other people and yell at them, that's not going to do much. That's going to get one of us fucking killed. More so. So you can be pissed. We can all be fucking pissed. But
Here's
just
my problem with that
leave it
situation,
be.
Rhapsody. Hold on a second.
For a fucking second, so someone else can talk.
There was a lot of dead air during that conversation with the constable. A lot before Cedra started raising her voice. Where were you then? You're pissed off because we got aggravated, I don't know, 15 minutes into the conversation, so we raised our voice. Where were you at 5 minutes into it? Speak up earlier. You obviously don't care about this coterie. It's
great. So the person who's fucking was like, no, don't think about it. We're good. We're good. We're not gonna break the fucking.
Where's your voice of reason? If you can't speak up to stop us, you can't go. Hindsight's 2020.
Hey, I fucking said, hey, it would be weird if we fucking leave with this thing that is full of clothes. This person's stuff. I did speak up. You said, no, it's fine. Why the fuck would I continue to talk if it's going to fall on fucking deaf ears? Well, shut the fuck up, Xavier, and just stay shut up. Can I roll for this?
Sure.
Or not? Because I don't fucking care either way. I can continue yelling.
I'm thinking charisma and performance against Xavier's charisma and performance as well.
Did Amon stop the car?
Probably not.
Why would he stop?
Damn it.
Not yet, no. But he's being oddly silent.
What is it? Performance and charisma?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. It's gonna get bloody.
Over,
I believe.
Social conflict?
Yeah. So, first of all, 3 willpower superficial damage to Xavier.
I have no willpower.
Second of all, as Rhapsody is saying this, the beast inside of her is most certainly coming up. She is beginning to lose control. And she knows it, but she's allowing it to come forth. The fact that she allows her beast to take over, even for that split second, will cause her to have a humanity stain. But however, she will be successful in her performance to assuade Xavier.
Have fun RPing.
Would you like to arrive
Cedra
at Vesh
says to
Griffin?
Mon,
Okay.
as they're driving, I think we need to go back to our domain before we continue.
Yeah, at this point, Vesh probably already knows. And Scourge, I make a U-turn.
Yes, I suppose the constable was aware.
You arrive at the Coterie domain, park up, make your way through the main bar, through the crowds of people, and all head downstairs into your private area. Private area.
Yep.
So, we obviously have an issue here. My main concern is that if we have concerns, we need to talk about them as a coterie and not point fingers after the fact. All that's doing is getting us in more trouble as opposed to using our talents with the people that we need to be talking to.
Yes, I agree, and it's quite what's the word I'm looking for? Unbecoming or unproductive to just argue amongst each other. So, last great issue is quite a shame, and I suppose we should have been more aware of the situation. But what's done is done, and we need to put it behind us. We know Benson was murdered, and I would have to assume the ministry is behind it.
It definitely looks like something the ministry would do from what we've heard. Was he talking to people other than us?
Rikki is perched up on her ottoman again, shrugs. Dr. Benson, when he met us, introduced himself and very openly spoke of being a ghoul of Vesh Griffin who has served Mr. Griffin as an Egyptologist this past 100 years. I find it very unlikely that there are not more people in his life. Do ghouls live? No, answer that later. But in his past 100 years, in his studies, in writing books, yes, I believe there were many, many other people he spoke with in his service to Vesh Griffin and in his professional work. As you know, historians do.
Although at first he only wanted to speak to those of us who are members of the Cult of Mithras.
Yeah, because he was sent to us by Vesh. So he wanted to keep it us the only ones involved. Well, partially.
I was going to say what
I
was going to say.
I suppose our next step or our next action would to be to get in contact with the point of contact Dr. Benson informed us of.
Did we get the number while we were with him?
I
Number?
think he told us.
Or place?
It was less of a number or place and more just a name.
The Imperatrix?
I feel like when she wants to give us information, that she's going to be the one finding us.
Well, it's not as though we've made ourselves very hard to find lately.
You.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the point of our domain is people know where to find us. But eventually, we're going to run into trouble again. Something is not going to work our way, whether it's our fault or not. It's happened many times before. When that happens, do we point fingers or do we work together as a coterie to protect ourselves?
We should definitely work together as a coterie.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if a situation comes up that you can help with another person, let's focus on making the situation more copacetic, and then we'll deal with our internal drama.
Rikki looks to Cedra and gives her quite a bit of a scowl. You know, if you're gonna do that, might help by if you would stop telling me, oh, this isn't our first rodeo, when it seems that, yeah, there's a lot of times I follow your lead, or Xavier's lead, or, well, yeah, really mostly Xavier's lead, and everything gets fucked up. So,
You mean like
I
last
would want
week
to
when
get stopped
you...
here. No,
No, you're
No.
not going to blame me for your mistakes. I didn't tell you to follow me. If you chose to follow me and that turned into a fucked up situation, that's your fault. Let me make my own mistakes. Stop fucking following. Because I'm not going to be blamed for your fucking mistakes.
And last week we warned you 50 times that going into that park was dangerous. And when
Literally
we said that
said,
we need,
we're leaving in 30 seconds.
and
It's been a
we
week.
told you we needed to get out of there. And the only reason that we even came back was because Cedra didn't leave you.
I wasn't going to leave you.
you weren't going to
And
leave me,
that-
but you weren't going to actually treat me harshly either. She gives Cedra a really fierce look. You're too fucking nice, Cedra.
That I can agree with a little bit.
You're too naive, I tell Rikki.
Oh, fuck off, Xavier. You fucked up.
Well, no, hold on, because everybody can stand around here and say Xavier's an asshole. I know that, but if we're gonna sit here and all tout and everybody wants to gang up on Xavier all the time, then let's address everybody else's faults. You're naive. Just admit it. You fell in love with somebody from your clan you had never
and
met.
what do you think
got
we were
taken and you got
fucking
worried,
doing at the
but
shop
you-
today?
You put her over your coterie in a situation that could have gotten us all killed. It's fine.
Literally. I was,
It's okay to be
I
naive.
was seconds.
We all have to learn.
When he says that a situation where we almost got killed, he's not even exaggerating either. That werewolf could have breathed on me after it hit me once, and I would have been gone.
I mean, Isaac too. He literally was carrying his He was carrying his guts back to the car.
Yeah, but
I'm still
we didn't have to bring
quite terribly wounded.
we didn't have to bring Isaac out of torpor.
And to be completely honest, we might be ripping your ass now, but we obviously aren't that fucking mad at you because we didn't jump down your throat immediately the first time we saw you when you started buying our love. So don't get too defensive because you fucked up. We all fuck up. We saw tonight. But it's real easy to start talking shit on other people, and then when somebody says something about you, you get real fucking defensive.
And all
I
of this
should've-
in our domain is fine right now. But when we are staring down the constable, we need to be together as a team.
When you're staring down the constable and giving him shit for reading you the riot act about breaching the masquerade, not very
I mean,
fucking smart.
The last
was
time I
protecting our
checked, I
coterie.
faced the constable when I gave him shit. He left us alone because nobody else could fucking do it. And I look over at Raps. That's
To be
right.
fair,
We've met the constable and the scourge already once when we were out of the containers. You all didn't see that. Rhapsody, Amon, and myself were there. I'm the one that's got us out of that situation.
And that's because we found out that sometimes telling the truth, even if you know it will get you in trouble, is what you need to do. Because I tried to tell him what happened, but I couldn't think of a valid excuse worthy of a reason to break the masquerade. Xavier just told him what we did.
Got somebody on our coterie with a silver tongue and they can't fucking use it.
Xavier.
And if the constable,
Yelling.
if the constable hadn't showed up that night either, both Xavier and Rikki, you probably would have both been dead. Because the Scourge showed up, and the only reason why the Scourge backed off was because we talked to the constable.
Yeah, and who was it who decided to use their super strength to rip off a chain that night?
Okay, and?
If anything, him ripping off that chain was what saved you. Because like I said, no constable, Scourge has nobody to tell him no. And I've fought with the Scourge before. He's up there in skills. I'm lucky that I had somebody to call him off.
He's no werewolf, though.
No. But he's damn close. Werewolves don't have guns. At least I hope.
Yeah, don't get stuck on that one situation and be ripping off that chain. We drove in there anyways with those cameras on. They still would have come. I wasn't driving that. So, we all fucked up there. Just because I was the first one to do it doesn't mean it's just my fault.
I'll even put myself out there and take the blame for that one. Because, yeah, I just drove in.
My issue there is you seem to look to Rhapsody a lot to clean up your fucking messes.
No. No, not at all. But she obviously has a skill she has yet to use. I mean, how many times have we sat here having a conversation about something and she doesn't speak up? We walk back in this room. We're talking about things that have transpired. She hasn't spoke up. I mean, sure, when somebody starts to shit on you, you kind of shut down. You don't want to say anything. But that night with the constable, I mean, we could talk countless times. When she's presented, she brushes it off. She doesn't try. The issue is trying. The three of us stood there and she said, I got nothing.
Okay, and what the fuck would you like to hear to say to the constable after, oh yeah, I did actually try to say, hey, maybe we should be a bit worried that we're in here with, a murdered man and we're in a 5-star hotel. Because, oh yeah, I wonder who would know something about 5-star hotel security and cameras and how quickly you might attract the police. Would it be the former whore? No, I wouldn't think so. She wouldn't know anything about,
I
when
think
the
you're
police might
confused
track her.
about what got us caught there.
Yeah, you were concerned about the body. The luggage that we stole
walked
air
into
I
quotes.
his
did
room without
also
luggage and
suggest
walked out.
that we ask Vesh before taking any of Dr. Benson's things. But, oh well.
Okay, let's just go ahead and the elephant in the room. Rikki, we all fucked up. You almost got us killed. So you spoke up with an idea.
And what did I do afterwards?
We kind of just didn't take you seriously because you've made a pretty big bad fucking decision.
And what did I do afterwards?
Bought our love.
Well,
Everyone, what's done is done. We should move forward. We can't just keep running around in circles attacking one another. It achieves absolutely nothing. Yes, we've all made mistakes. Today, I didn't want to take the bag, but I did want to take the books. And the books were considered evidence as well. That's my mistake, and I apologize. I'm part of this issue as well. We just all need to speak to ourselves and promise ourselves we will do better in the future and be more cognizant of each other and and listening to each other and trying not to do things like stealing evidence off of people who no longer need their things. That's my oversight. I'm sorry.
Can you steal from the dead yet, though, Isaac?
You can't steal from the dead, but you can take evidence from a crime scene.
the story. I'm not saying we didn't do anything wrong tonight, but I'm saying we need to fix that and defend our other Coterie members until we can get a chance to fix it.
Well, it wasn't that I didn't want to defend you, Cedra, but to be fair, the last time we ran into the constable, telling the truth worked. And so just getting angry and arguing semantics with him, I figured wasn't going to get anywhere.
Also, I think Cedra's point is we're all very different. I would say none of us are alike, but Amon and I are very much alike in this sense of what our abilities and what we can do. We work because we're all different. But in certain situations, if some of us want to fall flat on our face with the gifts that we have, it fucks everybody else up, even if they make a bad decision. Because sometimes you need somebody to bail you out by talking. Sometimes you need somebody to bail you out because they can fight better than you. Always, though, one of us needs to step up to clean up the other person's fucking... Because we're all going to need it at some point.
At this point, you hear the strange sounds of one person clapping. And stepping out from the shadows, it's back.
Cedra takes out her sword and approaches him.
Yeah, why is he in our coterie?
I see her coterie and we didn't know.
I heard you had a run-in with the constable tonight, and it was ever so
Why are you
entertaining
here?
to listen to you all. Why wouldn't I be here?
News travels fast.
I'm
A
Nosferatu.
little too
Nosferatu.
fast.
I knew immediately as soon as the constable knew.
You're also on our domain in a place where you weren't invited.
I'm Primogen.
Oh, I see. So the rules don't apply to you. Got it.
That is correct.
It's good to see
How
you.
can we
back.
help
How can
you?
we...
Well done. Perhaps next time.
Cedra is saying
Of
this
course,
with
about
her
masquerade brief.
blade.
Put that thing away. I'm not here to kill you. If I were, you would have been dead already.
I'm not afraid of you killing me. She doesn't put it away.
Rikki just raises her eyebrow and looks at Cedra. You know, I think you really should be.
Rhapsody's just gonna flip the bird at Cedra and walk upstairs to go and get a drink from the bar.
Rikki's...
It's your disharmony, although fun and entertaining, is something you need to quiet for now. There are far more important things going on in this city than a massive pissing contest between younglings.
To be fair, back, we were just fine before Pandora thrust her... I don't want to say pet because it seems to piss people off in this room, but her pet upon us, and then this one just showed up.
You realize,
If those two things hadn't happened, we'd have been
Rhapsody
just fine.
does not work directly
Fox
with
heard-
Pandora.
Bach's heard enough of our internal drama. Bach, why are you here?
I thought it would be best for someone as a neutral party to stand here and say, you lot really need to get along better.
That does not help.
No, maybe not. But Cedra, you're in charge, are you not?
Supposedly.
Then you clunk some heads together.
And you came here to say that? You don't have information for us?
You want information? It comes
If
at a
you have
cost.
it.
What would you like to know? You tussled with a Church of Set member tonight, perhaps?
You mean
That would be
info
valuable
was-
information. And at this point, she puts her sword away.
That info was kind of derived, but it's good to know it's confirmed.
The Church of Set will try and divide you. You can either make it easy for them, or you can make it hard. By putting on a divided front, you of course make it very easy for them. The Church of Set thrive in anarchy and chaos. You've barely even scratched the surface of them, and already here you are. One of you upstairs, one of you pissed off, one of you threatening me with a sword.
Oh, I'm threatening you with a sword because you came in unannounced in our domain.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, back, our history isn't the greatest, so just because you're Primogen doesn't mean that we're a little bit rocky.
Fair. You do know, of course, you shouldn't attack a Primogen. Look what happened to the Seneschal when he did.
I didn't attack.
Yeah, we also know how the prince felt towards the Seneschal too. So, yes,
And
we do know we shouldn't attack you
to the
yet.
Seneschal.
Yeah,
Rikki tilts her head and looks at Buck. The Seneschal attacked you? You mean Coronam?
Coronam
No, he
killed
attacked
my
the Primogen.
predecessor. He also killed Kulao.
But he attacked you as well?
no.
Oh. I heard wrong.
But now
I'm
that
sorry.
I am Primogen, a blood hunt would come onto those who would attack me. But that is neither here nor there. You are all very different. Some of you, and he looks at Xavier, more than others. I suggest you find your common ground. If it clearly isn't your enemies, then perhaps you should search for something else. And Rhapsody, my dear, I know you're more than capable of telling someone to fuck off, especially the constable. Don't be afraid to talk to them. That's what you do best, and you do it rather elegantly. Xavier punches things. Well, he shoots things.
Shoots things.
Amon sprawled out on the floor, has been since we got here. And I just raised my hand up and I'm just like, I'm the one that punches stuff.
No, you're the
Rhapsody's
broody
probably-
teenager.
You stab things.
It's okay. Everybody
Rhapsody's
gets
probably-
confused.
Rhapsody's probably come back during this with a blue lagoon, just stuffing
I'm
it.
not on the floor because I'm a broody teenager. I'm on the floor because my face hurts.
Yes.
You're a broody teenager.
No one understands your music. I get it. But I suggest, with the many enemies that are all coming your way, don't split yourselves up. You work better as a unified team. You don't have to like each other. Especially when you have an outsider specializing in death. Especially when you have someone who could literally talk someone off a roof. Especially when you have someone who could move silently in the night and slit their throat before they even realize it.
Still gotta learn how to do that.
I think he's talking about.
No,
He's talking about Xavier.
he's talking about me.
And technically you, because you have it too.
You realize I can hear everything you're saying. These ears are not just for show.
Yeah, the whisper was for effect. Sorry, we weren't really trying to make you not hear it. I know you're old. That's probably a new thing.
You're not too old that I can't put you over my knee and spank you. And you would have to take it.
She's into that, not me. I point to Cedra.
I didn't make money doing that. It's all an act.
Find your common ground. Because otherwise, you're slowly going to turn up, dead. One by bloody one. And then we're all fucked. For some reason, you seem to be the best coterie that are actually active at the moment. Find your common ground. Find your enemies, because they're not each other. At least not yet. Kill the enemies in front of you, and then kill each other for all I care. But kill your enemies first. It's wiser that way.
Rikki
So,
gets
Bach?
up.
Who's our
Rikki-
enemy?
Mm.
It is divided right now between the Gaki, the Church of Set, the Ministry, and the Ripper. And yet you're
Oh
all still
boy.
focusing on kicking each other's ass. Clunk their heads together, Cedra. You are the driving force behind this coterie. Your
Hey,
word
back.
should be law. Mr. Long,
Be nice if somebody could tell us who the fucking Ripper is so we could kick its ass. It's been a long, very long circle of nothing for a year now.
and what have you done to investigate and find the Ripper?
Well, she had a friend for about 2 hours and then it got taken and returned somehow.
So after a
Apparently
year of
I don't
being
think we know that
charged
part, so do you?
personally looking for the Ripper, you come to me and you say, she had a friend. And you're trying to blame us for your...
Well, he's saying
No.
that
That's not what I said at all.
Bach?
Real glad you misunderstood all of that.
Bach? I'm asking you for help.
How can I help?
Rikki smiles.
Do you have any information on the Ripper?
Not yet.
Do you have
I do
any
know.
information on... Oh, please go on.
I do know, based on what has happened with it, if you so much as try to touch it, even together, you would be annihilated.
It seems quite probable.
Then why the fuck are we investigating this any further?
because we have to find out
Because-
what it is so we can tell the Camarilla to go kill it for us.
Oh my
There are more ways to kill something than with a gun.
No
Try
shit.
Some
to
might.
work.
the killer. What clues have you had that you could find that would lead into background on the killer? You look too much at the trees in front of you. You ignore the forest.
I've tried to investigate the mud, but it just didn't pan out.
Rikki shakes her
This
head.
one's crazy.
No,
I know Bach, but he's a good teacher as well.
He's one
Yeah.
of our favorites too.
Rikki goes and kind of crouches in front of Bach.
You cannot
want to
pretend
talk to
each other.
Hmm.
If it really comes to it, then split yourselves up. But you are stronger as a whole than two separate units. And I know several of you are very strong wholes.
Rikki, did you have something to ask him?
I had thoughts to. I was wondering if we put our heads together, we might actually know what the Ripper is. We've learned a lot. She nods to Bach. I have no doubt Nosferatu Primogen knows, well, at least everything we do by now. Kind of hard to hide things from him.
Look at the evidence in front of you. Sanguinates his victims. It has great strength. It acts
Bach.
almost
It's
like a
15 foot
kindred.
tall.
It acts almost like a kindred, yet it would appear to be some kind of lupine.
Bach, I did have one question for you. You said it hunted the Nosferatu in the sewers, right?
Yes.
The Nosferatu live in the sewers, and you are masters of obfuscate. How did it hunt your kind?
That is
Or
a
do
good
you know?
question. Some were lured. Perhaps there was something it was able to sense. It's strange how it picks its victims.
How did it pick its victims among the sewers?
Charisma persuasion at difficulty 2, please.
Bach doesn't give a shit that she's beautiful, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that would be more of a hindrance than a help for Bach.
Exactly.
But it is a question you should ask. Well done.
Mm-hmm. But Ricky's talked with Bach about appearances, and she knows Bach doesn't give a shit. Two.
This is information that I would not normally divulge so willingly, especially with Armand, Cedra, and Isaac present. But the members of the Nosferatu that were taken by the Ripper were also followers of Mithras.
So, in addition to it being large, like a lupine, insanguinating its victims, like a kindred, and between what you just said and information that we gained through the Malkavian Primogen, it intelligently chooses its victims by their affiliation with Mithras. So, it must be a thinking creature. But as you said, it also has no internet presence. I was wondering what you meant by that. Do you mean you have found no signs it has ever used the internet? Or is it that it's unusual that, say, nothing has shown up on a cryptid or conspiracy theorist website of some vague, blurry photo of a 15-foot tall creature?
There is literally no mention of it. The only thing previous mentioned would be things like Jack the Ripper.
So, can it obfuscate?
I've not been able to have a chance to talk to it. It is possible. But there are other ways to hide yourself and evidences of yourself.
At the
Perhaps
very
your
least.
teacher may be able to enlighten you more.
Hmm.
Perhaps if you all collectively think it through, you might be able to figure out just what this thing is.
Starting to think that maybe that boogeyman we were told about isn't as fake as we were led on.
At this point, which boogeyman?
You know the one.
I mean, I could take a guess, but there have been a couple.
Bach,
I just
forgive me for
don't-
asking, but
I
how
know
do you
you-
feel about Mithras?
He kept the UK in order. He kept enemies at bay. He was Ventrue, so nobody's perfect.
I know that feeling.
He was
Alright.
after my time. But look at what happened to London without him. Now,
It's
no
been quite a
pressure
mess.
or anything, but should you all keep fucking up or fucking each other over so much, this will be London next. And there, when will you go?
I'll probably just die again like I did last time.
Bristol.
Rikki rolls her eyes. We'd be dead.
Cedra, don't be afraid to clunk their heads together. They should fear you as well as respect you.
Thank you for your help.
If I learn of anything that may benefit us as well as yourselves, I'll let you know. If you keep bringing chaos to each other, though, we'll just wait for you to self-implode.
Our chaos is our problem.
That's true. I hope you can all fix it. The fate of my clan and the fate of Oxford relies on it. Now I have to get a drink. My throat is so dry.
Thank you for the
Please do it outside
encouraging
of the
word.
bar.
You have rats outside?
Thank you.
We're in the middle of England. Yes, there's rats outside. They just
Shh, let Isaac talk.
Oh, thank
So
you
what
for
were
your
you going to say,
encouraging
Isaac?
words. Thank you for your encouraging words, Bach. I certainly agree for you. And it was a pleasure to have the audience with you as always. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Isaac would give a respectful nod.
I hope you will survive the rest of your evening. Rhapsody, stop letting them think you're Pandora's plot. You're only winding them up. You and I both know that you're not.
Yeah.
Xavier, a little less Xavier.
fuck you, Bach.
That's more like it. Armand, for God's sake, stop being like Batman. My family died.
I think
my
it's the
child's
mask.
missing. Just sort your shit out.
You don't even hear him say anything, but because he's still laying on the floor, he just lifts an arm straight up and flips back off.
Rikki?
Yes, Bach?
No, I barely know you. Just do less things and fuck up.
Back. Tell
Sometimes
her.
you're
Tell her.
right, you know.
Be more scared of werewolves. That's it. Everything else is fine. Just be more scared of werewolves.
Rikki glances
Cedra,
at Xavier.
you're too damn attractive. Isaac, you're alright.
You're biased. That doesn't mean much coming from a Nosferatu.
Actually, from Bach, I would not have thought to hear him say that.
Thing is,
Doesn't
though,
mean
it's
it's a
not
compliment.
from Bach.
No.
She was threatening his life with a sword, so it quite possibly could be Stockholm's.
More like it was an insult.
It's better to talk to me than the constable.
Yeah.
Bach, you were going to say something to me?
I already did. Is he really that forgetful?
Yes.
He is kind of old.
Unless you're talking to him about ancient lore. You get used to it. I meant what I said earlier. He's
Together.
been quite the good tutor.
Listen to each other. Consider things. Very rare is there any need for you to make a split-second decision these nights. Tread carefully. Now I'm going to grab a rat. Good night.
There's a trash heap out back, Bach. And just Bach, you're a good teacher. Don't get yourself torn up out there.
It might improve my looks if I do.
If you do,
If you
try
say
and
so.
write down all the information about the Ripper first and let us know.
Oh yeah, sure. You know, my face is coming off in my hands and I'm having bits of me torn around the place. I could see an arm over there and I'll just be like, oh, Armand made me write a note, yeah.
It's for
Our
the
friend
greater
Kayla
good.
did it.
Well, attempted to.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
Buck.
night, Buck.
Puff.
Good night.
Rikki goes back to perch on her ottoman and doesn't even flinch at Buck going poof this time.
I've always liked Bach. He's quite a respectful fellow. And I
Yes,
hear
sir,
he has
Chris.
great taste in furniture as well.
So, Vesh,
Besh,
since there is always the possibility of us being separated with Vesh, do we want to use the brand first?
well,
You still
if we're
wanna
going
go
to
to
be
Vesh?
separated, should some of us speak to Vesh and some of us speak of the river to Pandora? I know we don't have much, but if not all of us are going to be of use speaking to Vesh Griffin, maybe we should do that as well.
Before,
Oh,
like,
why not?
I'm out of character. Before we consider doing this, how late in the night is it?
I mean, depending on how you want to do it. If you want to split the party, one group goes to Pandora, one group goes to Vesh, we could do that. But you've probably only got enough time for one meeting. But splitting the party like that, you could do two.
Okay.
But personally, I would recommend at least trying Vesh. But then the problem is you're going to be split anyway, because Cedra's quite right.
Figured.
Cedra, just one thing. When I said, "Are you too nice?" the reason why I was looking to Prowl so much is because she was harsh to me. And I know in these nights, I need that. So, like Bach was saying, yeah, if I'm losing it because, I still haven't figured out this beast thing yet. Knock my head in, drag my ass off by my hair, and toss me in the car. I'll get over it. That's what I meant. And yeah, do you want to take you and Isaac and Amon to see Vesh while I take the others to see Pandora? And just tell her about, Port Meadow. And maybe leave out the part with stuff.
She'll already know.
Probably.
Yeah, apparently the whole city knows at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And you would just about hear, not yet, they don't.
Bach, go away!
Ramon's just flipping off every shadow in the room.
You'll hear a little man say something to you.
Yeah, right. That's not very considerate.
Wait, what?
Rikki just shakes her head and mutters something about having to remember to stop by a pet shop before the next time.
So we should continue to be able to communicate.
Rikki holds her arm out and pulls back her sleeve.
Brand.
I want superficial damage to Rick. Exhale, then talk.
I mean, we have one communication, but the more we have, the better.
I worry
Good
every
to
time
know.
you do like that thing, you're going to set your wonderful hair on fire or something. I really do worry.
She did.
I'm alright.
Did anybody else see that?
No, I have not. I have not.
There was a glow. I'll clip it. It's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, half of it's
It's
missing.
because my hair's shiny. Yeah, this. Yeah.
That's why she doesn't use that hand anymore.
I'm quite alright, Citra. I don't need the brand. I thank you for the offer.
You're the one that's better at talking, but I tend to know the right information at the right time, and I'll just pull the hand out.
Brands.
1 superficial damage to our mom.
Now I have 1.5 health points.
Xavier. Xavier.
Said I'm good for the night.
If you insist, but I always respect your opinion.
But I need my time to myself tonight.
Okay, I've got Rikki. Rhapsody.
Sure.
Brand.
In fact, while we're on the
Once.
topic, Rikki, I'll drop myself to Alicia.
All right, fair enough.
I guess if we're going somewhere, we might as well get going. You just hear me strain to get up off the floor.
I
Yeah,
should.
Amon, do you need a hand?
I'm good. I got it.
I mean, it's not like I'm really injured, so if you need a hand,
I wish I had more hands. That's a good idea. And I start walking towards the car.
Rikki shakes her head and makes her way to her own car.
Yeah, Isaac would probably stagger out as well.
So,
He's not looking as horrible as before, but he's still pretty bad.
who is
Amon,
going to
Amon,
Alicia?
and
Rikki and Rhapsody in, I guess, Ricky's
Xavier said
car,
Elysium.
Xavier and Xavier's car.
yeah.
Okay. What we'll do is there anything you want to talk about on the drive, Rikki and Rhapsody?
Rhapsody will probably just be mumbling under her breath. Something about pets.
Rikki will just kind
And
of...
Cedra.
Rikki, as she's driving, will just watch the road and say, "Yeah, I hate that word too." By the way, Rhapsody, Prowl's still alive. I saw her earlier. Pissed, hurt, but she's alive.
That's good to hear.
I haven't told
Clearly
the others
she's-
yet.
Clearly she's not with Mithras.
Why would she be with Mithras? I bet she hates that, old Ventru.
I mean, she was dragged off by the Ripper. Or what we think is the Ripper.
Pretty sure it is. Fox
That's what
seems
we've
to
been
think it
told.
is. All right, let's go see Pandora. Are you thirsty?
No, I'm good.
Mm, she'll probably offer something anyway. Let's go.
Xavier, do you want to have a conversation with yourself in the car?
No, but that key, before he takes off, he'll hold it in his palm and stare at it for a second, and just say to himself, "I know what you're for, but I have no fucking idea how I'm gonna get there." And then I'll put it in the glove box.
He accidentally uses it to unlock his car, and it just starts to dust.
Wouldn't that be some shit?
Just for reference, the skeleton key is actually made from bone.
Oh, that's dope.
I figured it was pretty literal.
Also cursed.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, it was. I couldn't find a decent picture online of a literal skeleton key. I was very disappointed. Internet failed me. So, Rhapsody, Rikki, Xavier, all the ride at Elysium. They get disarmed. They get that armed. They walk down the stairs. And they see Pandora in her usual booth, with scarlet light dancing all over her. Thorn is the one that's looking over Elysium this night. And Lorvan is even sat at a chair and table.
Long time no see for Lorvan.
It's been a month, I think.
You're not in the scene.
Sorry, I know.
It's been
Yes,
a
it
long
has
time. Yeah. I'm guessing there's the usual table of Nosferatu.
Nope, not tonight.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, Rhapsody will lead Rikki over to Pandora's table. Say,
What about
hi, Pandora.
Xavier? What are you doing at this point?
I'm with them, but I don't say a damn word, and I'm probably
check.
not super respectful. So if they want to call me out on it, whatever.
Pandora stands. Rhapsody, my dear. Please, take a seat. And the others.
Thank
Would you care for a
Pandora.
drink?
I am personally very good at the moment. I'm very satiated. I hear there's a limited supply, so maybe we should skip the formalities with that for me.
Rikki, Xavier.
No, I'm good, thank you.
I would greatly appreciate the meal, ma'am. Though we're only
Well.
here to make a brief report.
It would be remiss of me not to observe etiquette and at least offer. And as you wish, I shall, of course, get you a drink. She looks over at the bar and gestures just the one. The barman hobbles over, plonks a glass in front of you. You may reduce your hunger by 1, but of course go no less than 1. And to what do I owe this pleasure? It's not often it's just the 3 of you.
Yeah, the other 3 had a... Well, 4 were busy. I mean, one of them is obviously quite busy, but we don't know where he is. The other 3 are busy and with
Most likely, Dr. Coterie has got his nose
the
in some
honor
books.
is
We hope.
hopefully that is all it is. We have had gotten notice from a gangrel who goes by the name Prowl of a sighting of the Ripper. So we went and investigated it. Prowl was sadly taken, but we got an accurate description and some prints. This involved going into lupine territory.
And you returned. Interesting. These gangrel
No,
have such strange names. Will they be called Ironhide next?
I will not be surprised if I ever find one.
Rikki smiles a little. That would be most amusing, ma'am.
The supposed Ripper that we think may be correct. The description we had was of a 15-foot tall beast. At least 15 foot tall. Clawed feet, clawed hands, lightning quick.
That's interesting. This is at least the first description we've ever had. You're positive it's the Ripper?
It fits. It fits some of the profile. Incredibly strong, but it doesn't fit some of the stuff going on. So we're not. I don't believe we are 100% positive on it. But if this is the Ripper, this is something special.
Certainly true. Nothing immediately springs to my mind about what kind of creature that could be.
It's certainly
Nice.
not a lupine.
Nights gone past, I would think it was some kind of Zamiti war beast, but war beasts would not be so restrained as the Ripper is.
There's also a peculiar situation with said Gangrel when she advances on it in a certain form as opposed to another one.
Which
Rikki
form?
nods.
I think
Which
Rikki
form?
can explain a little bit better.
So what happened to your face, Xavier?
Xavier is very tasty.
An
We just-
interesting response.
Sorry, you must have not been paying attention when Rhapsody told you we fought a werewolf. Sorry.
I didn't realize that the werewolf ate you.
I mean, they hit back.
We were in lupine territory, and some of us did not take as much heat as we probably should have. I included.
You did well to
Rikki,
survive.
Did we survive? Yeah, fortunately, 2 of us almost died, but and Rikki, to your point, I think you did exactly what you were supposed to do, is not take damage. Some of us,
For what it's
quickly
worth,
learning Amon is one of them, probably shouldn't take as much either.
For what it's worth,
Kids
I'm
at class
glad you
cannon.
survived and didn't lose any more members. Rikki,
Yeah, I learned a good thing, though. Shotgun to
Yeah.
the face scares those fuckers away.
Shotgun to the face scares a lot of things away, Xavier.
I am
Yeah, but that's a
extremely
werewolf.
impressed. You managed to shoot the werewolf in the face whilst it was eating you?
Yeah, it's real easy when you're pinned on the ground and it's over top of.
You say that, but not many would be able to even survive that, let alone shoot it in the face. That is
Mama didn't
impressive.
raise no bitch.
Indeed. Rikki, these forms, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Prowl demonstrated to us that she is able to take the form of a large black cat, somewhat perhaps smaller than a panther, but far larger than a house cat. She explained to us that when this form, the Ripper within Port Meadow, which apparently she is able to hunt within, would retreat from her. And also, in explaining that, it sounded as though the Ripper quite happily is able to, I don't know if reside or at least spend time within Port Meadow without being molested by lupines.
Just out of character correction, it doesn't care about her feline form. It was scared of her kindred form.
And and Rikki did get that. And it did sound as though it was in both forms that when seen, it retreated from Prowl. And I do recall when Prowl was taken, we were taken by surprise. Prowl was grabbed from behind. We only caught a split-second glimpse of it, and then it ran off, vanished. Perhaps it could even obfuscate, I don't know. But it's able to make itself scarce extremely quickly. And perhaps it does not like to be seen? I don't know. But that is my impression now.
This is extremely interesting information.
It's also
And it
when we
shows that it
point
has-
out, remember that Prowl wasn't killed.
Rikki hasn't shared that.
Ricky's only shared that with Rhapsody.
Oh, well, I just said it out loud.
But yeah, Xavier doesn't know that yet.
Yeah,
I
don't know
don't.
Xavier. Yeah, Xavier
Oh,
wouldn't be able to
I
know.
recant. Oh, I went in the car. You're right. I drove.
Hmm.
So this shows that the Ripper has a conscious mind and isn't some mindless, frenzied beast.
On that, ma'am, I The kindred who gave me this information indicated it was not information he would normally share freely. However, when he had dealings with the Ripper over a period of many years, he noted that, and she lowers her voice a bit, remembering the last time the subject of the cult of Mithras came out with Pandora. It does seem to consistently target only members of the cult of Mithras, which, knowing that, I would greatly agree with you. This is a thinking creature, not a mindless beast, even
That
if
is
it can take the form of
extremely
one.
important information. I will make sure the correct people know this. Thank you very much. Rhapsody, is there anything else?
Not to my knowledge.
Very well. I suppose then, Rhapsody, I hope you have a pleasant night. Xavier and Rikki, fuck off.
Thank you for the audience, man. Rhapsody stands up, pushes the chair in, and then heads off.
Rikki picks up her glass, bows, and says, "Thank you for the meal, ma'am."
I didn't
Pushes
know
in
you
the
all
chair.
were leaving yet. No, I do want to ask her something before I leave.
Oh, okay.
And
We'll
Rikki
see you
will
hang
head
around
over
a
to
bit.
bar to return the glass, even while Xavier's still conversing with Pandora, so she's not there.
Groovy. Xavier?
Curiosity killed the cat, but would you be able to tell me where you get this blood from that we drink every so often?
Of course. It's no secret. Willing, in a sense, kind, are delivered through the circulatory system. We then keep them downstairs. There's a delivery once every week, usually. Unfortunately, since the blood plague hit, that has become less frequent. Once the stock is to a certain level, it has its mind wiped and is released back to the circulatory system.
Okay, just curious. They're tested before you all start bleeding them, right?
The circulatory system, we make sure, only give us the absolute best in quality.
The best. Okay, I was just curious. Again, curiosity killed the cat, you know. Thanks again for the help. He'll awkwardly stand up and leave.
Do you push your chair in or just leave it?
No, I pushed the chair in this time. It's real awkward, though.
They're learning.
It like catches on the tile, and you have to like.
Like, he tries to one-hand it, and it lifts forward the first time, and... Yeah.
They're learning. They're learning. Meanwhile, Amon, Seaver, and Isaac are heading over to Vesh Griffin's Haven on Potstead Road. Park up outside the house, and I assume you would leave the car one by one and knock on the door. The usual ghoul answers the door, looks at you all. You're here for the pater, I assume.
We are.
Please,
Yes, please.
enter. I'm sure by now you know where he is. Bless you, Armor.
No, I was yawning, sorry.
Oh, well, fuck you too.
I enter and lead the way.
Yeah, I follow her.
Behind Citra.
Okay. Vesh stands up as you all enter into the office, greets you. His usual blurb of I'm Vesh Griffin, child of some dude. How may I help you tonight?
we ran into a bit of trouble tonight that apparently word has really gotten around about. Have you heard about that?
Possibly. Which
About a
specific
Dr.
bit of
Benson?
trouble? The doctor is expired, yes. Please, take a seat.
Thank you. Cedrus.
I politely
Isaac
nodded
would
and I sit down.
nod and take a seat.
That Griffin's going to not politely
I'm
take a
sorry.
seat last.
I didn't sleep good last night, so now I'm yawning like crazy.
I've had an entire bottle of champagne.
Yes, Dr. Benson. You were there, I understand?
He was murdered in front of us.
Naturally. Took his stuff. No, naturally. We assume it was the followers of Set.
It was by a dart through a very small hole in the window.
That is exactly what the followers of Set would do.
We saw a hooded figure that we suspect did it. We pursued them, and they vanished into mist.
An annoyance. But you did very well attempting to at least bring justice to him.
You're the first one to say it.
I wish you could have been quieter in it. However, I most definitely admire your commitment to justice. That's justice, Xavier. Just justice. Justice. Justice for all. So unfortunately you were unable to capture them, although it's doubtful you would have learned anything had he not turned into mist before your eyes. It is a sad loss for Dr. Benson. However, there are many within the cult who can replace him. I understand.
He seemed to be quite the esteemed Egyptologist, though.
He was very learned. Not irreplaceable. Fortunately, of course, we had him record absolutely everything he knew and could access. The cult is set back in a minor way. We will, of course,
that's quite good.
if you are wondering, we will, of course, want justice brought to his killers, or killer.
We want the same thing.
I understand he managed to make contact within the ministry for you.
Yes, we have a contact.
Do not speak the contact's name out loud. Even here.
Understood. Because the storyteller can't pronounce it.
She's right, you know. What is her? How is her name pronounced, then, Cedra?
You said not to say it.
Oh, I'm talking Elf game.
Imperatrice? That's what you said.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Take care, Griffin. Do not compromise her safety. Oh shit, do not compromise their safety or security.
Understood. Before he passed, he was also... Yes, Isaac.
Well, go ahead.
Before he passed, he was also telling us about the coming of Ramlar?
Yes. Did he not fully brief you on Ramlar?
Well, I'm not entirely sure if he did or if he died in the middle of it.
I'm afraid I'm not fully educated on Egyptian mythology. I do know, of course, though, that Ramlar is extremely likely to be a child of Set. That would make Ramlar 4th generation, the same as our Lord Mithras. Extremely powerful. If the Ministry, or the followers of Set, are able to raise this back from Torpor, it will bring absolute destruction upon all of us.
Noted.
Quite literally, by the look of it.
I'm reading my notes.
Okay.
Anyone else help here?
Oh, sorry, I was writing notes down.
Armon.
Yes,
Oh,
we
no.
will.
Isaac, please go on.
Oh, yes, we will be most discreet and careful as much as possible. And it's certainly quite evident that the Ministry or Church of Set is involved in this murder, undoubtedly. We will endeavor to make contact with the contact and learn what we can and hopefully uproot the Church of Set if at all possible.
I'm sure the contact will be with you as soon as possible. Make good use of this contact. The Ministry, the Church of Set, are our greatest enemies. We cannot allow chaos and disorder to be brought to this city. It will bring death to all of us.
Yes, that's something none of us want. In an environment of chaos and discord, undoubtedly, the Second Inquisition would come through with all the masquerade breaches and eradicate us, and whatever the Second Inquisition doesn't kill, the followers of Set will have some way to take advantage of the situation.
Precisely.
That wouldn't be good for anyone.
Precisely. We cannot also allow such a powerful kindred to rise. Motivations for such a creature would be absolutely unknown. It would bring death and destruction for more than just our kind. Make use of the tools
Peter.
you have. Yes, my son.
If this is any relevant information to you to maybe help us, because I know that your knowledge is much more vast on the subject than ours. But we, aside from the Ministry and the followers of Set, we recently had a literal run-in with a large beast that we believe to be the Ripper itself. And one thing that we have learned from the very brief glance and descriptions we've been given of it is that it seems to be hesitant only around other kindred. I don't know if this, along with the Axion connection that we made?
Ixion.
Ixion. The Ixion connection that we made would mean anything to you.
Not yet. It is a most intriguing case. Something very personal to us as well.
Right.
For the time being, while you're investigating the Church of Set, for your own safety, you do not have to attend any of the Mysterium. We will, of course, though, have other means to send your blessings to you at least once a month.
That is much appreciated.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome. As loyal followers of our Lord Mithras, we cannot be complacent with anything. It is, after all, order, one of the things we most value. It would look very hypocritical of us to not enforce order whilst attempting to bring down the Church of Set, disorder. Or that order. Well then, my children, is there anything else you wish to discuss?
Thank you very much for your information.
Yes.
At this point, the ghoul walks into the office and hands a note over to Vesh. He reads the note, folds it back up, and says to the three of you, "One of our other children of Mithras has just brought more information to me about the Ripper. In fact, this information has come from someone else in your coterie. It seems the Ripper targets only members of the cult of Mithras.
Yes,
Our understanding, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that we have discussed that fact with you before,
It would
if I'm not
seem
mistaken.
it also targets Anarch members of the cult of Mithras. This is confirmation that this seems to be something personal against either ourselves or Mithras. As such, it would be extremely wise for you to keep your involvement with the Mithraic mysteries a secret for now, as best we can. It might already be too late, but let's not try and lose an edge that we may have in this investigation.
Understood.
Agreed.
Safely in Mithras's light.
Cedra will stand up and bow.
Amon would
Isaac.
stand up as well and bow his head.
Isaac would stand and bow and push in his chair. Thank you for your time, Peter.
I take it you're leaving?
Yeah.
Yep.
Any discussions that you wish to have now?
Actually, yes. As we're walking back to the car, / on the ride home, or ride back, whatever, it doesn't matter. Out loud, Amon just starts thinking, Ixion is a boogeyman, so to speak, a fake story to scare those that don't want to fall into line. But what if someone made something and after creating it, made it think it is Ixion?
I think that's very
Um,
possible.
So it could be a creature or a kindred or something of some sort that was familiar with the legend of Ixiom and maybe became delusional and decided that they are Ixiom and they need to punish members of the Mithraean mysteries.
Sounds about right.
I mean, there are certainly reports of Kine have visions of grandeur and being delusional. Why not something else being supernatural and having visions of grandeur and being delusional, thinking it's this boogeyman axiom?
Look at Valcavians.
Yeah, the only reason why I suggested that someone made this thing is because of the fact that we don't quite know what it is yet. But yeah, I highly suspect that it's a big scary monster that someone made believe is in itself a big scary monster that has a specific target.
Maybe whatever it is or whatever it's become has damaged its mind in some way or driven it mad.
Yeah, they always say that the longer you keep up a lie, the more you start to believe it's true.
That's true.
And on that note, we shall say that everyone finds their way back to their individual haven. And we will call it here for the night. Let's see if there's anyone to go a raiding on.
Soul Citizens just started.
Fantastic. So, thank you all for coming. We will see you Thursday for Grounded stream,
Yes.
but no hog.
Actually, Wednesday's supposed to start Bloodlines too.
Oh, you want to start that this
Bloodlines
Wednesday?
TOO. Yeah, remember I said the start of September.
Shit, yeah.
Oh, we could do that instead of doing something on Thursday.
Why
Do
not
all
both?
the things.
Yeah. Burning Questions is every other week. Filling the void of those every other weeks will be Bloodline. TOO 2.
Okay.
I like
we
that.
can do
That's a
that.
good
Thursday,
tagline.
That is a good
Soul
title, isn't it?
Citizens isn't showing up as online for me.
Oh, they tweeted
Yeah.
like 4 minutes ago that it's on air now. Maybe they're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, Fastcart says they should be starting soon.
Well, bum. Anyone got any good jokes while we wait?
I have a long
Right,
joke.
taste.
It's not an appropriate one, and it's very bad.
Well, maybe you start it now, and before we get to the punchline, we raid Soul Citizens.
Okay. So, once upon a time, there was a fish swimming through a river, and there was a bug flying up on the top of the water. And the fish said, if that bug came just a little bit closer, I could jump up and grab it and have myself a nice lunch. Well, sitting on the bank of the river was a bear watching that fish. And it thought if that fish were to just jump out of the water, I could grab it and have myself a nice dinner. Well, in a tree nearby, there was a hunter. And the hunter was watching the bear and thought, that bear just got a little bit closer to the river. I could shoot that bear and have myself a nice trophy. Well, down behind the tree was a little mouse watching the hunter and the hunter's cheese sandwich, and thought if that hunter would just lean forward a little more, I could grab his sandwich and have me a nice dinner. Well, there was a cat watching from the bushes and saw the mouse and thought if that mouse came out just a little bit more, I could grab that mouse and have me a nice dinner. So, the fly flew closer to the creek. The fish jumped up, ate the fly. The bear grabbed the fish. The hunter shot the bear. The mouse grabbed the cheese sandwich. The cat jumped for the mouse, missed, and ended up in the river. What is the moral of the story?
Don't take dead people's stuff.
Kind of fits. You have to go a long way to get a wet pussy.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's right.
That's a good one,
That
though.
joke.
I knew that was part of the... Yeah.
Probably.
The only
Yeah,
joke
I
I
knew...
didn't know where that was going.
I'll be quite honest. The way this world's been and this year, I was really worried to actually say that word out loud, so I was going to let you do it. But Wet Cat, I
I know
immediately
I can
thought
do
that and was like, I want to say the word, but I don't want to get yelled at. So
I didn't know what the whole punchline was, but I knew that was going to be in it.
The whole punch line.
I think Soul Citizens is live.
Apparently they are, but they're not showing
it
up
worked.
as raidable.
Oh.
Ah,
Now I'm gonna hold on. Let me try.
Oh, the face works
I got-
completely screwed now. Hold
I got the magic touch. Hold on.
on. Oh, it's messed up.
So an Isaac and a dead rat are in a bush together.
Got it.
You got
There
it?
we go. Isaac and a dead rat. Okay, what's the punchline of this?
I found an exsanguinated rat.
It was exsanguinated when I found it, I swear.
That was silly.
Well, thank you all for coming.
Uh,
We will see you very spoonly, we hope. Bloodlines this week. Grounded but no hog next week.
Yep.
Right. That means we should see if we can do
Sure.
some more tabletop games in the meantime.
Oh.
Why is this raid taking like hours and hours to kick in, Armon?
you can always just hit the button.
There it goes.
Yeah, it had a
They left
countdown
before I
going.
set the
But,
line.
yeah, money.
It works. We can't go until we get the line.
Have a good night. No one's listening.
Have a good night.
We are.